Hello, guys. We're glad you're out there. Thank you so much for making time to join us for our political discussion from Tembei TV. I'm Bernard, and I'm happy that we can get time to dissect on the latest development on the political front in the country, wherever you are around the world. Use the link in the comments and join me and the rest of the panelists as we look into this wild and possible imaginations on this politics of this great country. The William Ruto and Anne Waiguru Ticket versus Raila Odinga and Governor Lee Kinyanjui Ticket. Which one carries the day and why? In whose hands is Kenya safe? I believe you have a great deal to say on this one, and therefore I invite your input. Please, let's get in and get going.
Hey, niaje. Let me cover this uniform first.
Hey, kumbe unakuanga ndege ya gani na tuambie. Jonathan.
Good evening.
Umeamua mnazi kunywa peke yako?
Hata mimi sikunywa mnazi.
Sasa hata kama ukunywi basi madafu, tunaomba madafu.
Uko mbali.
Siku hizi mambo ni dijitali. Mbona nyinyi mnajuka nyuma tena? Okay. Karibuni sana kwa show, na mimi mko sawa. Eli, vipi?
Oh, sorry. Mimi niko poa. Tunashukuru venye tumeona mambo inaendelea Kenya. Waiguru amejoin yenye anadhania ni winning team. Sasa tunangoja wenye watatujoin hii side nyingine, wenye walikuwa wanadhania kwamba huko ni safe.
Haya basi tumetegea hapo.
Hii saizi kama ODM leo nitaongea Kiswahili manake pia kizungu sio chetu. Mimi ni watu wa huko. Kama supporters wa ODM tumeona ni time yetu. Kama vile Waiguru amewajoin UDA, sasa ndio time yetu ya kupata watu wa kutujoin wengi. Wenye walikuwa wamejificha UDA wakidhania kwamba watapata kama kwa naibu wa rais, watakuja. Ni kama vile tu Waiguru alichelewa kujoin ODM akakimbia huko, ndio venye pia wale watakimbia huku wakiregea. Wale upiga kelele kutukana baba sijui nini. Sasa chenye tunangoja cha muhimu zaidi ni Ruto kuchukua Waiguru kama mwenye atakuwa naibu wake wa rais. Ndio hapo tutapata advantage itakuwa kubwa sana, kwa kuwa wote watakimbia Waiguru. Na unajua sisi tutawakaribisha wote.
Sawa. Thank you. Tegea hapo tutaendelea kuchangia. Tuone mbivu na mbichi ya haya maneno. Penny. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you, Bernard.
Yes, the Ruto Waiguru Ticket versus Baba Kinyanjui Ticket. Which one carries the day? In whose hands is Kenya safe?
Of course, Baba and Lee. it goes without saying, because when you look at the other side, the common denominator is I don't want to mention. Let me not go there.
We will go there. Just relax. Thank you for joining. Let us all warm up and get down to mentioning the unmentioned and be able to chart the way forward. We must give direction to this country. BK, vipi?
Poa sana.
Uko sehemu gani wewe?
Ruto Waiguru.
Mbona gizani wewe?
Hamna shida, sauti ndo muhimu.
Wewe umekuja kutupangia mambo tena? Tutakushtaki.
Hapana, sio hivyo. Hapana. Lakini mimi niko hiyo upande ya Ruto Waiguru. Sawa sawa.
Hiyo iko sawa
kwa sababu iko sawa kabisa. Waiguru after kusikia alisema tusikie kwa ground, na feedback is that ground inasema UDA. And yeah, that is it. Ground ndo itaamua, sio deep state na hizo system.
Sasa hii uongozi ya kutegemea ground inakaa vipi?
Mwananchi ndo power. Mwenye akona powers ni mwananchi.
Mwananchi anapaswa kuongozwa ama kuongoza?
Mwananchi ndiye anafaa kuongoza.
Halafu viongozi kazi yao gani?
To listen to the people.
So wananchi wanaongoza viongozi kwa waongoze kivipi?
Tunawachakua watuongoze, sio?
Lakini tunawaongoza wakituongoza.
Nani ako na powers, viongozi ama wananchi?
Inategemea power unaongea kuhusu nini, kwa sababu kama ni uongozi ni wa viongozi. Okay? Wananchi ni wa kuongozwa. So kama unarudi kwa wananchi wa kupatia muongozo, basi wewe umeshindwa kuwa kiongozi.
Sikia Bernard.
Yes.
Bila wananchi au viongozi hawako, sio?
Kwa nini unasema hivyo?
Nimekuuliza tu swali. Bila wananchi
viongozi wanatokana na wananchi. Lakini wananchi hawazai viongozi.
Bernard, muulize swali kwa nyumba. Mmoja anaongoza ama ni watoto? Ungemuuliza hiyo swali.
Bila watoto familia haiko.
Kuna familia inaanzishwa na watoto?
Watoto ndio muhimu.
Na kuuliza watoto wanaweza kuanzisha familia?
Generations is through the children.
BK, tegea hapo. Tuko na wewe hapa kwa hapa mpaka tujue mbivu na mbichi ya maneno. Asante sana. So kila mmoja karibuni. Show iko vile ilivyo. Nataka tukadirie maneno tuyazungumzie wazi.
Karibisha Bernard.
Mbichi. Kwa hivyo mahala popote ulipo unakaribishwa, na tuanze moja kwa moja. Wale ambao wanataka kujoin, link ndio hiyo kwa comments, lakini inaonekana tuko karibu full house. And let's continue the conversation. If you have any question and you are not able to get into the studio, put it in the comments. We'll be able to post it to the panelists, and we will get to the right answer for the season right now. I want to acknowledge the arrival of Mike, Patriot, James Wan, iko generali Yakub. Karibuni sana. James Wan.
Yes.
In whose hands is Kenya safe?
That one depends on who you ask, but if you ask me, the candidates who have come so far to present their credentials, I would say at this time in our history, I think Baba beats them all. Because of experience, history, and the fact that he will be able to understand all the communities and forge unity. Is less aggressive than he was when he was much younger, like Ruto. So he's likely to be more, calm, recorrected, somebody who can reason. I think it is his moment. I think it is his moment. So I don't know whether you wanted me to go further than that and branch into the today's
not yet. Bado tuko kwa appetizer.
Okay, so that is my take. That is my take for now, and I think I'm coming from a region that we did not give this Mzee Baba time even to tell us what he would want to do for us, because there was a very heavy propaganda against him for obvious reasons, that he was actually competing with the sons of the soil. Therefore, I think what is even scaring those who now want positions in that area, in that region, is that this is not going to be a major factor of organizing politics in the area. The fear, that fear factor against Rao is not going to be of much value this time. So they have to, you even had the MP for Naivasha trying to revive some things. Those are the kind of things that have been prayed out for the last 10, 15 years against Lao. So they are still living in the past. They still feel that these things can still generate a lot of heat, and therefore shut off Baba from the region. But I don't think it is going to work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sawa. Thank you, James. Now let's hear from Mike.
Thank you, Bernard. I think the introductory remarks are in whose hands is Kenya safe. You know, I'm a Baba man, and I've my reasons, and I've been saying that character for me and history helps me define somebody. And however great your ideas are, they should be backed by some personal beliefs and philosophies. Because if you are to talk of ideas, anybody can read a book and come up with an idea. But it is who carries the idea that counts. Thank you.
Sawa. Thank you. Patriot, in whose hands in the next half a minute or so that we open up this thing.
Hello, my fellow panelists. Allow me to just jump to today's discussion by doing a very quick preamble. This country is at a crossroads. We need the right leader to actually give us direction. And quickly, what seems to be clearer than before is that we are having the right leaders in the wrong formations. I wouldn't want to castigate the character of the governor Waiguru. In as far as I'm concerned, being very, open-minded about who she is, I think she's a good leader, but in the wrong formation. So why she will not be able to pair, her hands with to leadership, because the other pair is not the right one. So in that case, if you talk about her hands and the other one, because a negative plus a positive is a negative. So Baba's hands are safer. And of course, when you talk about the governor Nakuru, that just carries the day. It's a done story. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patriot. Is Santos, utangulizi wako tafadhali. Is Santos upo? Okay. Yes, is Santos. Unmute and speak. Okay, Santos ni kama ako na hitilafu ya mitambo. Naomba sasa tuanze kuchangia. Tutaanza na first come first served. Although I would want to Eli was here before everyone else. General ndio sijasikia sauti yake. Ndio atakuwa kwanza anatoa utangulizi wake, then his contribution. Let's restrict ourselves to our usual 3 minutes so that we move faster and be able to get to the bottom of all this. You're free to exercise yourself into your democratic right, but let's remain factual, putting Kenya first, not our political persuasion, not our political parties, not our...
Which bottom is that you're speaking about? Getting to the bottom or what? You miss. Stop using.
Oh, please! I studied my dictionary before this.
Don't be too sensitive,
Patrick. The spelling of that name. So when I use that, I'm using it from the English perspective, not political arrangement. So please, let's keep that clear. All right. Thank you, General.
Thank you. I don't know where I start from, but I will start from in whose hands are we safe? We are safe in the hands of Waiguru and the Deputy President. Because these are people, we have seen them. We have seen Waiguru as a governor. We have seen what she has been able to do. And we have seen the Deputy President also as a Deputy President. And he has been there before. He has been a Minister of Agriculture, Higher Education. His record is there. So when we give now him full powers, I think the ticket will be able to sell. As for Waiguru, if Waiguru happens to get that ticket over the Deputy President in 2022, you know the gender policy also will come in. And I think will market well. And the idea is mambo ya hustler. Iko kila mtaa na people are resonating with it. So I have no doubt that that ticket is the winning ticket. In forming government in 2022 and thereafter, I think this man Raila Odinga is our threat. I'm an tanga insider, and I understand that in every meeting you have to get a new style of dealing with Raila every day. Because Raila is a schemer, Raila has numbers. So we also have to get people like everyone in board. We will get so many of them. We'll also come for, maybe big names are coming by December or January. So we'll be having people on our side crossing. So it is a transfer window, it's open. You are welcome to join anywhere you want, where you feel you are safe. But the presidential card is more important than these other cards. Because from where I come from an ODM zone. My MP is not from ODM for the last 2 terms. In 2002, we are the only people who elected an MP in Kanu. So the party politics in these other races won't play so much. My take.
Okay. Thank you. I don't want to begin to ask you questions. Let's hear from Eli.
Okay. Mi ile ya kwanza ilikuwa kwetu, it's just a warm up ya kueleza venye mambo itakuwa. I think Baba has it all. Yeye amechukua yote because he's someone with ideas zenye zinafanya kazi. In 2000 and by that time Kibaki was getting into power. He's the one who he gave us this free education into primaries, na tumeona imefanya kazi na hadi sasa inafanya kazi. By that time hakuna mtu mwenye alikuwa kuna hiyo idea. These ideas yenye now hawa wengine wanaleta, I don't know, hustler which yenye hatujui. It's idea yenye ilikuwa pale since before, like tutapatia vijana kazi, you see. So now wanasema hao hustlers ndio watapatiwa kazi, na hizo miaka zote hakuna mali hiyo idea yao imefanya kazi. Hakuna vijana tumekaa mtaani, hakuna kazi. So Baba has it all. Raila ndio anaweza endesha hii nchi, whether hakuna nani as a deputy or whom, yeye ndio anaweza. Leave alone this. Just yesterday ndio wanasema kwamba watapatia our sisters hao wanafanya hii biashara nyingine, I don't know, 1 million for sacco. Why should you give them 1 million for saccos? Just give them something. Saccos for what? So wanaenda wanafanya biashara zao huko, wakija wakikopeshana pesa wenyewe kwa wenyewe. It doesn't make sense. Tunataka mtu mwenye anakuja na ideas zenye zitafanya kazi na zenye zitastay hapo for a long period. Sio idea ya leo tena kesho utawechange just a name, uje utuambie sasa ni last time ulituambia vijana utatupea kazi na wifi ya kufanya nini online business and online everything according to online. Now umekuja umeona kwamba huku utimiza zile zilikuwa kwa before, unatuambia nyinyi mahasla nitawasaidia kuwapatia kazi. It's the same idea yenye ilikuwa last time, yenye haiwezi fanya kazi hii nchi yetu ya Kenya. Haiwezi. Kenya industries ni kidogo, kitu ya kwanza. Wakati anafanya campaign, to be specific, anafanya campaign, anataja hadi numbers zenye au youth hawana kazi. Leave alone youth, even baba zetu hawana kazi. Leave alone sisi ma youth, baba zetu hawana kazi. So iko kampuni gani yenye itatuweka kazi sote? Just tell us utafight corruption, and that money yenye utafight corruption utai bring back to your people. Yenye is this idea of 6,000 per youth. It's okay, wengine labda tutawekwa kando, but wale wamewekwa kando ni wale wanajiweza. Ipewe wale hawajiwezi. And that it will be a good thing. In Baba's hands tuko safe kabisa. Idea yenye itakaa na mwingine akikuja ataiendeleza hiyo idea, like free education bado inaendelea na hakuna mtu mwenye ataitoa pale. Mimi nimemaliza.
Okay, thank you Eli. Thank you. Let's move on. In the interest of gender balance, let's hear Penny before Jonathan. Jonathan, niko na ruhusa ya kukupunish. Hujanitumia madafu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the privilege to be able to contribute. Okay, for today's topic, we are being asked who carries the day, and for me, of course, I'm a Baba person. I'm a Baba supporter, and I think for me, the Honorable former Prime Minister and Lee Kinyanjui is a very good combination, because if you look at these two characters, they have passed the integrity test in the sense that they've never been implicated in some of the grafts that have come up in our country. Unlike the Deputy President and Waiguru, they've not been able to pass the integrity test in terms of they've been implicated in some of the worst grafts in this country. And a lot of people will agree with the fact that at the mention of the name Waiguru, the first thing that comes into your mind is the NYS. You know, it's something that everyone knows about. But I'm not ruling out the fact that she also has her positives. She's quite intelligent, very eloquent. But I think for me, her negatives supersedes the whatever the positive. You'll end up with her negative supersedes the positive, and which is not good for a leader. Looking at Waiguru, right from the time that she declared her interest in joining UDA, she went quiet, and then recently she was in an interview when she was being asked which side she would be able to support. Then she asked she promised to come up soon and declare which side she was supporting, while it is so evident that at one point she had come out as a UDA supporter and went underground. So for me, this is displays lack of decisiveness, you know, because you talk of watermelon. This is someone who during the day she's in Jubilee, and at night she's there chatting with the UDA people, with the UDA people, with the UDA side. So I think she stood at the edge for so long, and she had declared her candidature in UDA, and it was not a shock because that is actually where she belongs. Yeah, that is where she belongs. If you look at some of the scandals that have been mentioned about him and the DP, you see, these are people who have not been able to pass the integrity test, and therefore considered not accountable and not fit to handle the country's resources at a time when the country is at a very bad place economically. We need leaders who are accountable. We need leaders who are credible, and we also need leaders who have integrity. We do not want people who have been implicated in grafts and stuff like that. So for me, I think Babaman and Lee Kinyanjui will pass the test, will carry the day rather, and Kenya will be safe in their hands. We are safe in Babaman's hands and Lee Kinyanjui. Looking at Baba, he has been a part of a regime that contributed to the growth of the economy during Kibaki's time. So this is someone who has enough experience on what it takes to make the country successful. He has enough experience. So I think based on his experience and his fulfilled promises, which I think have been mentioned by Eli, things like free primary education, we have seen some of his promises materialize, unlike Honorable Deputy President, who has made so many promises and is still continuing to make many promises upon promises and not explaining or taking responsibility for the lies that he has he has sold before. So I think for me, Babaman and Lee Kinyanjui will carry the day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Penny. Let's quickly go, unless there is a question, let's quickly go to Jonathan.
Good evening, everyone.
A question for Penny.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I want to agree with Penny to the large extent that for those who are looking at the two groups, you have all reason to smile and actually assure Kenyans that they've been in good hands if they join the team that is led by Baba. However, at the end of me listening to you, there's a question that has come to my mind, and I would like you to clarify, my sister.
Yeah.
Had Waiguru joined Baba as a running mate, you have brought out the good points that you have demonstrated now, the way you have done so. How will you have reacted?
Okay, for me, I think Honorable Waiguru, like I've said, she also has some positives, but her, I think her integrity issues really come out so badly, because when you mention the name Waiguru, the first thing that will come into anyone's mind is NYS. So either side, I still think that the NYS issue really tainted her. It tainted her image, and it will take time. For me, still, it would have been an issue. And if I were to choose between Waiguru and Martha, Martha might have her other side, but I think for me, Martha is more accountable and more reputable and a better leader than Waiguru in terms of accountability, integrity, and credibility. I would go for Martha anytime.
Okay, I hope that is settled, Patriot.
Oh, I was speaking.
Hold on, Jonathan. Patriot, you are still mute.
I was saying that was just to expand the discussion and probably inform the next speakers that the story can be beyond the box. So I think she has answered correctly.
Thank you. And if I would say something on that, the common denominator is the character of a person, regardless of where they stand. And our policy and our focus as Kenyans is to judge people according to their character, not which side they are supporting and which side they are not supporting. Because if we begin to defend this and stand with this, it won't take long until we are all bent and nobody straight again. So wherever they stand, we'll still fish them out and tell them, although you are my brother, this and this and this, you must pay. Thank you. Jonathan, tuendelee.
As I was saying, that is a good sign. But where is Mugambi? I told Mugambi, like, I think 2 months ago, that Waiguru, she's in UDA, but he never believes me. He told me that Namuingilia, but I said it before, like 2 months before. I told him that Waiguru, she's in UDA, but he was just waiting for this Masuja days to pass, because she was just going to measure the weather. How is it the crowd is going to cheer to William Ruto, our deputy president? Then she will decide. Today she said something very, I don't know if it's funny or if it's serious. She said that she was coming out from her house. Then she met some people are passed by to her home. Then they stopped her. Then they told her, like, Waiguru, our governor, we want you to be in UDA. If you are not in UDA, we are not going to vote for you. Then she went inside. Then I think she told herself. Then she started asking people which way am I to go. Now she has joined the UDA. This is her place. She wanted to be there, and she's there. That's not a big deal. That's not a shock. Like people say that are breaking news that she has joined. She joined this long time ago, and that's where she belongs. And that's where I don't know how is it going to be with the Gerechi, because I am not seeing Gerechi in our dearest deputy president's meeting nowadays. I don't know what's cooking, or I don't know what's happening. But she will meet with Gerechi in Uda, because Gerechi was there a long time ago, and I'm very 100% sure that our DRS or people will do nomination, or people will decide in the UDA. They are not going to give her a ticket and left Gerechi out. That's what I'm sure about, because she's a newcomer, and the other people started to follow our dearest deputy president 4 years ago. So I think they have a very hard time now. Oh, they have been tested. Now I don't know what are they going to do. It's very tough in this UDA camp. That's what I can say.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. The next person is James.
Yes.
James 1.
Yes. So what I can say about the defection is that this is already who has already detected a heavy defeat. And I will not be surprised if she has negotiated a deal for accommodation since securing her position again is not going to become easy. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because this is an area that is known not to be very kind to incumbents. In fact, in the last elections, they sent home all the MPs, including the senator, all of them, they were sent home. So it's a very restless community that starts counting your days the following day after giving you a mandate. So I think she's known that she's not coming back, and the fact that maybe she wants to secure a possibility of even being given a higher position, because she has been mentioned occasionally that she could be a running mate. Maybe she thinks that way she could be trying to secure her political future in a very uncertain environment. In fact, I will repeat again, it is too early to make concrete decisions that this is the direction in which the votes will go, because there are many factors that are coming into play. One of them is that there are discussions currently going on, and those discussions are not just happening in marketplaces; they are also happening in the families. The question that you asked, who can you trust? Who can we trust? Is one question that is really going on in the families. Even some have reached a point of taking a survey within their families when they meet 10 people, 20 people, and discussing the candidates in a much deeper way. So this is a community that does not take chances. The moment they will not just jump into issue or someone just like that. But once they make a decision, which normally comes towards the end, they more or less seem to coalesce in one direction. Number two, there are also opinion leaders who cannot be overruled, who will have their say and they have influence. And that is why I agree with the statement that Kinyanjui has given out, that it is too early. You might just dance yourself lame before the main dance. In a community like this, which is going through a transitional period in leadership, it is not very easy to make up that early who they are going to support. So going forward, I think we will wait to see how this lady is going to play her politics, because truth be said, even the two protagonists you see there, her and Girishi, there is also a very potent, candidate in the name of Mother, who actually lost by about 30,000. She had 130 something thousand votes against Waiguru's 160 something thousand votes. So she's not a pushover, and she's respected, and she's quite respected within that community. Her supporters may not be overly excited or excitable, but they are there, they are quiet, they respect her, and you vote for her any day. So I think Waiguru is out for self-political survival, and maybe the other side, she does not see anybody securing her position. There is something also that has been happening in the last few weeks, which we don't know what it will yield. There has been a closer relationship between the PS Kipicho and Girichi, which we don't know exactly what it is, but you cannot be very sure about politics. And how this is being framed, especially noting that this is a man who and also started kind of that there was that talk that he is also interested in that position, and the community started discussing about it. So I don't know whether they want to go as a pair. I can't say that for now. But you can imagine that there is a lot that will happen between now and August 9th, 2022. We are yet to see things. This is just, it's really not something that you can put your finger on for now. Don't also forget there will be Rimuru 3 that will invite all the opinion leaders in the region, and when they discuss, they don't discuss on the basis of anything else except interests of the area, and so even their direction will also have an impact in how people vote. So I think we can only wait and see. We can only wait and see. Otherwise, the anybody for now thinking that they have sealed the votes in the area, I think it's they are cheating themselves. Let me say that they are cheating themselves. They have a lot more to do. Thank you.
Bernard, a quick one. James, are you confirming?
Yes, Patriot, you have a question?
Yes, I'm asking James. From listening to James, very keenly, you give the impression that it is a confirmation today that you can only hire a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. I mean, you know why am I seeing that? Because the way you are speaking, James, you don't seem to be supporting Baba today. You've taken a neutral stand. Can you elaborate what that means, James? Thank you, sir.
I must point out here that I am a very practical person, and being practical means I go down in my home area. I'm able to interact, and I'm able to ask questions. I'm able to receive information. Therefore, I have my prevalence as a person, but I'm also open to the reality that my position may not be the position of the majority. Otherwise, what I'm trying to say here is that the final decision as to how the vote in Mount Kenya will go has not been made, and anybody purporting to have that is cheating. In fact, you are going to find people who will tell you they are yet to make up their minds. There are those who will tell you that they are waiting to be given direction by the head of state. There are those who have taken possession, yes, they are hustler. There are those who would outright also tell you that they think they will give Papa this time. So it is that environment that is there right now. That is what I am operating in with for now. And I have also told you that families are discussing. These are discussions going on even within families. And these discussions are deep because in some families they are even taking account and trying to persuade each other why you are taking this decision or not the other. You also notice that this is a community that has many people who reside in urban areas, who visit the villages occasionally, and have that interaction with their brothers in the rural area. So the two knowledge is about the characters who are asking for votes will usually come into discussion. So the discussions are going on at various levels, levels in the community, at the level of leadership, at the level, even at family levels. So that is why I'm saying I have my personal prevalence, yes, but I'm also arrived to the fact that there are others who have different views. As to how this will pan out in the final end is what we don't know. And also don't forget, don't be cheated by anybody that this community has always voted as a block, especially when interests are involved. You remember 1992, they voted differently. 1997, they split the vote. So it is going to be a very interesting time now that they don't have somebody at the top, especially also noting that there is sub-regional interest, like the mayor who seem to have a very, very great interest in Baba. I think the message is giving them, and the commitments are resonating very well with that community. So it is not obvious that the mayor will vote with the Moranga people or the Nyeri people. These are the dynamics we'll be waiting to see how they pan out at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James. I believe that settles that. Let's go to Mike.
Bernard, I have one second question.
Yes, Jonathan.
James. So you have said that she came with a Kaku cannot be rented or being bought. So has she been rented or has she been bought?
Jonathan.
Very interesting question. You know what? I'll not be surprised when if this lady defects back, depending on how things start panning out towards the end of elections. Don't put your mind in one place. This is a lady who can defect back. Mark my words. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from Mike, please.
Thank you, Bernard.
Mike, are you still coming? I think Mike is stuck. Okay. Let's get to Patriot first, and then we come to Adams.
Thank you, Bernard. allow me to dive direct to today's topic in details. And this is how I am going to deal with today's topic. One, I agree with James. I asked James that question deliberately. And for me, I think I've learned a lot. If you listen to James keenly, James has actually brought us the very raw data that we want from Mount Kenya, which is what we really needed. And I think it's important to make use of such a people who are able to be in touch with the ground. And then of course, Waiguru claimed to have listened to the ground too. But I think I will take James's position to be the most appropriate position in as far as the mountain is concerned. So allow me to say this about Waiguru. I want to agree with James that Waiguru has a lot of time on our side to play political ping pong. I mean, if we expect people to move to any direction between now and the election, she's not an exception. She can easily come back. And then number two, just on the same, to put that into perspective, my thinking will also hypothesize a situation where Waiguru is a mole. Waiguru could be Baba's mole, in my view, and allow me to back that. You know, when I look at the speech she gave and how she's been relating with the DP, her relationship with the DP has never been mutual. I think the relationship she has is with the party, all right, but not with the DP as a person. But I want to also believe that even as she spent her first night in UDA tonight, her spirit is still lingering around the house of Baba. This is a lady who believes in Baba in so many ways, because when you listen to the kind of speeches that she's made there before, you can see somebody who is committed to somebody's leadership right from the heart. And then let me also put something here into your site for you to see. When you look at Madaraka Day, Mashujaa Day, there's somewhere where Waiguru spent time speaking to Baba. From a political dynamic observation, I also want to hypothesize that Waiguru must have informed Baba that she's going to the other end, and she must have explained herself. You know, politics is about perception, it's about all that. I don't think that her movement is a surprise to Baba, but allow me to believe that Waiguru could be a mole of Baba on the other side, and I think the DP knows that, in my view. So they might be a bit hesitant to give position to her. And let me say why I think she's a mole. You see, her going to DP side gives Baba followers, those who are still torn between, to actually get to Baba. And in this case, I'm speaking about Mother Karua. You see, when you look at the character of Mother Karua, who has a lot of qualities and qualifications, the way Penny has put it, has now the opportunity of actually deciding to go to Baba, you know, clearly, because she wants to be a governor, and she has to, up her game for her to get that. So coming in as an independent, blogger, political blogger, I think that would not be very good for her. So this is an opportunity, in my view, where, Waiguru was perceived by Baba to be confused because of the stand. I'm talking about Mother Karua, sorry. Mother Karua was in a catch-22 situation, something Baba's people observed. So they were left with no option other than encouraging Waiguru to give space for Mother Karua to actually cross over to Baba. I don't know whether you're seeing that. So now, in my view, it is very clear that UDA is occupied. So the only place Mother Karua can run to put her stakes better is to Baba, and probably Baba is using Waiguru, by making a mole in UDA. So something that time will tell. as we move on. So lastly, the other thing I want to mention here on this, two tickets that we are discussing about today is that there is one thing Waiguru does not seem to present as far as why UDA will make her running mate. One, she's a class woman. She's a woman who belongs to the elite. She's an elitist in my taking. I don't think she fits into the bracket of the hustlers. The only thing she is bringing to UDA is perception of politics. Perception of political gain is what she brings on as a woman, but she does not seem to be adding anything to UDA, because in any case, the people who are supporting her were already in UDA. So she's a John come late in that order. So had she been the first one to go, then UDA will be celebrating that she has taken followers there. She has gone there as an individual. So going there as an individual, I think she does not add much other than perception of politics, political gain to the DP. Of course, the gender issue, that's what they will play around. So I anticipate as things move forward, the DP will try to put a lot of butter and the blue band around this person to make it look valid. But from the face value, she does not go with much, because to me, she's not an hustler. She never fitted into being an hustler. That's why I believe, hypothetically, and I agree with James, don't be surprised to see Waiguru coming back as a person who went to spy on the UDA side. That's my take. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patriot. I believe there's no question. All right, I saw Mike back. Has he disappeared again? Okay, let's hear from Adams. Adams too.
Yeah, good evening. Mine is just to reiterate a little bit about what's going on in the political scenarios in Kenya right now. But going by what you have posted here as the topic of today, the DP Ruto and Waiguru Ticket versus Raila Odinga and Kinyanjui Ticket. First of all, I've never imagined that kind of combination coming forth, and I doubt it though. But going with it, Kenya, the population, the bigger population, the voting bloc, the bigger percentage is the youth. But there is a tragedy, because we live in a country whereby, our country is a country whereby thieves regroup and loot from the people, and the youth celebrate them. That is the strategy. That's the strategy that we are in right now. Because I'm being neutral. I'm not pro anybody, but I'm just being factual. The biggest thief is Ruto. Waiguru is a medium thief. She's not big, not small. So is a thief just cross over, a medium thief just crossed over to a chief thief, and now they're making headlines. And now people start thinking crazily that these people one can be on the ticket, another one becomes a deputy, a running mate. It's a crazy world. We don't need to live in a country like that. They're going to loot everything. And the youths, who are the majority, celebrate them. And then tomorrow they celebrate and vote for them. And then tomorrow they come out and say, we need jobs, we lack jobs. It's a stupid mentality. People need civic education, which our people lack, and nobody seems to be giving them. And that's the truth. On the same note, I don't really think DP Ruto is a very smart politician, though cunning, but very smart. I don't think, in my own opinion, I don't think he can take Waiguru seriously to the extent that he can make her be his running mate. If there is likelihood, the chances that DP can take a running mate from the mountain is very high. There's likelihood. But I don't think that person is Waiguru. It's not. It can be any other person. If it has to be a female figure, there's so many female figures he can go by. Even, you know, DP cannot go for Waiguru. And today's crossover, I mean, Waiguru defecting from Jubilee and crossing over to UDA is not, she's not being nationalistic. It's just for selfish gain because of the gubernatorial race in Kirinyaga. She seemed to be having a stiff competition, and the ground, I mean, as they say, the ground is not with her. She lost the grip. You remember the other day she was supposed to be taken out that seat, but she was saved by the political formations in Kenya. Otherwise, it would not be a governor right now. So she just crossed over to save herself, not to save anybody, or to save the mountain people or whatever. It is just to save herself. So Waiguru crossing over is for her personal gain, for relevancy, to remain relevant. Otherwise, she's just a medium thief, nothing else. She has never fought for anything. She has never stood for anything. The only thing that she has ever done is stealing, nothing else. Coming to the ticket of Raila Odinga and Lee Kinyanjui, Jacom is very, very, very strategic and sees far. He has an eagle's eye. What he sees today, so many people cannot see tomorrow. And sometimes you can be surprised when he chooses this running mate from another region that is not even Mount Kenya. And it is possible. The likelihood is very, very high. I don't really think he can go for Lee Kinyanjui, but yes, Lee Kinyanjui is a good guy. He don't have a record of stealing or looting. And I know Raila Odinga, being what he is very keen on that. So this time we are in right now, this is a transfer window, this is a political transfer window, but it is only the premature politicians who are crossing over right now. Those who are mature politically are still weighing options. They're still reading the field, how things are going. Otherwise, I see a lot of things unfolding and so many things. I was watching a show this evening from on Citizen with the panel was, Aman Manyora was saying something like, Waiguru can still cross over back to Jubilee. And I heard Mr. Patriot saying the same thing. I doubt. She's gone, she's gone. I don't think she's coming back. She just have to deal with it and maybe try to be relevant over there, or she will remain to be where it is. Crossing over, she's been lukewarming for so long. She was in this side, and then she got saved, and then she crossed over to Jubilee, and then got saved, and then she went back over there. The other day, Ruto was saying that she was caught walking after stealing millions of money with some saloon lady. That's why I'm saying, Ruto is this guy. Otherwise, that's my take, okay?
Adams, just a quick one. In the last election,
yes,
Ngilu did those kind of moves that we have just highlighted in the last election, in the last 2013. Ngilu was with Bara. She went back to Jubilee. That was PNU and URP. She came back to Baba, and finally she went back. So those things happen in politics. And if history is anything to go by, women are prone to do that more than men.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right, but scenarios differ. Political backgrounds and regions are different. What Ngilu felt over there in Kitui is different from what is going on in Kirinyaga. But there is likelihood. I don't deny completely. You're right to some extent, but according to my own view, I don't see that happening, because this woman may lose big. Otherwise, Waiguru having defected to UDA, I don't think there is any impact or something lost or something. I really don't think so. Nah.
Okay.
Can I let you know something?
Yes.
Hold on. Now
you will be very surprised to hear that the persons who actually saved Waiguru is is the current Mount Kenya Foundation members, the rights of Munga. They went there, sat there, talked with the MCAs, persuaded them, cajoled them. I don't know what else they did for them to calm down and give her space.
I thought she was saved at the Senate.
The fight was bigger than the Senate, my friend. You remember these guys?
Adams, hold on, James. Hold on, James. Adams, there are so many things that take place politically. It's not what you see in the front office. There is too much at the back office that make the front office look the way it looks.
Got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Also,
on Waiguru, let me say this before I give you your last minute to conclude. From her moves right now, her eye is not on the Kirinyaga seat. She's looking for something more concrete, not something that is electable. So as at now, she's not looking for a safe place where she can get the seat. She's looking for a safe place where she can be in the next government. So whether by election or by nomination or by appointment, she just needs to be part of the government. And that is why her flip-flopping is part of the gamble for her survival.
So, Mr. Bernard, that said, it means that according to your philosophy, I mean, Anne Waiguru has lost hope in Kirinyaga, so she's eyeing something else. That is according to what you're saying, right?
She's past Kirinyaga. Her moves are past Kirinyaga. So locking her in Kirinyaga, you will not be able to interpret her moves rightly.
Okay, but she has spread what you said, Bernard. Yes. Adams, what Waiguru has done has managed to spread her base in terms of probability, because you see, when you're running for higher position, yes, you find yourself in a manner that any of the two protagonists, whoever wins, you become his. And in fact, look at her language. Her language is very diplomatic. Even the way she spoke today, I expected her to be so robust and attack maybe Raila. She didn't do that. But that's what we seem to be. I agree with the philosophy of Bernard that she's asking for higher probability position, not the one for a governor per se. But she might not want us to know that for now, because politicians want to hide cards. They want to, strike surprises. That's what makes the joy of politics.
Please let us move on, but let me quickly say this. I think the scramble in Kirinyaga is between the three women, Martha Karua, Ngirishi, and Anna Waiguru. Okay, Martha Karua has gone ahead and been made the spokesman of the mountain, so that makes her bigger than Waiguru remaining in Kirinyaga. And then Ngirishi says she has taken Kirinyaga. So the only way for Waiguru to be bigger than both of them is to come to the national platform. And that's where she's fronting for. She wants to rule both of them without competing with them. To me, it's a smart move. If it succeeds. We are going next is His Excellence Juma Adams. Okay, just Juma, take it.
Good morning, Bernard, and is it good morning, really? What's the time? Okay, good morning.
In Nairobi, it's good morning.
It's been long since I joined here. I think I started listening to you when you were asking whether we in the safe hand, we're gonna be in safe hands, something like that. That is when I was listening to you here. And people gave options. Some say we are in the hands of Raila, we are safe. When we go to Ruto, we are safe. Of course, I didn't hear anyone seconding being in the hands of Ruto being safe. That tells me that even the panel itself is biased because there's no position or supporting side. But I had Patriot asking a good question.
I'm here.
I had Patriot asking a good question to my sister there, Penny, that what would have been her maybe opinion if Waiguru would have crossed to Raila, because Penny had a litany of allegations against Waiguru because no one has charged her in court despite all those claims. That should inform us that how deceitful we are as Kenyans, even as the same politicians do the same. We all know what we said when Matiang'i was CS Matiang'i was then during the election squabbles or tension. Then we all said so many things against Matiang'i. Today Matiang'i crossed over to Baba. No one is throwing those shades. Now, let me not get there, but I want to tell you we are in the safe hands of God, not in the hands of any man, and it's upon us. You are a man of God. You cannot take us to the hand of men to believe that they can take us anywhere. Because even as we speak now, we have the government that is in good beds with the opposition. What they are promising us, why can't they do it now? That is a question I've been asking. You see, we try to talk as if we are going to live in heaven in the future, while we have the heaven here, and these people can sit. Do you think Raila cannot call Uhuru and tell him that, you know, guys, you reduce the price of the fuel, or what else do you expect? These are same stories being told now and again. That's why you're seeing even the registration for voter registration. You see the numbers. People are tired, bro. People are tired. Hii siasa tuongee tu, lakini people are tired. Maybe it's good for us to talk about the current affairs and debate on everything, and to be seen we are vocal. It is well, that is our food as Kenyans. We will always talk like that, but people are pissed off, me being one of them. That's why nilizima kila kitu. Tuko kwa shule tunasoma tuende ngambo. Thank you.
Wewe Juma umeacha kuwa mzalendo. Hiyo ngambo unaenda ilijengwa na mtu. Wewe huku unaacha nani ajenge ndio urudi?
A good question. Hao wenye wako kwa maviti wao mbona wameshindwa? Na hao ndio wenye mapesa na ndio wanafanya kazi mpaka sasa. Even today, if Uhuru Kenyatta wants to come back to city, he will tell you the same things the other parties are telling you.
Hapana, kwa ushirikiano, umoja wetu ndio nguvu yetu. So azimio la umoja ndugu.
Azimio tulianza 1963 mpaka leo.
Juma umeavoid Laban. You have not answered Bernard. The country you are living in, hiyo ngambo unaenda, nani alijenga? That question, please answer that.
Okay, thank you. Mimi ni mzalendo wa Kenya. Siendi mahali, napenda nchi yangu, lakini tuambiane ukweli bwana. Tuambiane ukweli. Mimi siko kwa hiyo kuongea mingi. Mimi I hit the point. Bernard, you would introduce. I think you better introduce me to the panel so that they get also to know me. My name is Steve Juma. It's important to put it that way. I'm a Kenyan journalist. I'm a director of communication, Tana River County, and currently I'm in Nairobi. So team, let us be honest. Hii nchi ni yetu. Tuache masiasa za Ruto na nani. Tuambie watu ukweli. Kutana Ruto, tell them the facts on the face. Meet the president. Tell them we don't promise us heaven and we are already in hell. Thank you.
Steve Juma. Nashukuru umerudi kwa platform na mchango wako ni muhimu, lakini hii nchi bado iko mahali ambapo tunaweza kuiokoa, na tutahitaji hekima kama ya kwako na ujasiri kama wako ili kuikomboa. Lakini ikiwa tutakubali hali isalie jinsi ilivyo na wote tubebe mikono basi Ndio hivyo. Wachukuu wetu watalaani makaburi yetu. Tulikuwa wapi inji ikizorota?
I know whenever I talk here, there's a moment of silence. That one you always know. But that's the case. As much as we accuse people, we say, Baba, Baba, Baba. I come from Baba's home. Yes. I come from Baba's home. Very, very, very Amramogi myself. So, hizo promises mnatuambia na Bondo yenyewe ukienda ukiangalia inakaa kama Nyagacho. Unajua Nyagacho? Nyagacho is in Kericho somewhere. Bondo iko na floodlight moja. We all know the stories.
No, which part of Bondo are you talking about?
Hata bado wanatoka Nyanza.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. We get back to the center of the road. Any extreme is too dangerous. Let us debate. So.
Truth hurts, but that is okay.
No. Juma. Look here.
No.
When we begin to go to personal attacks, who has worked, who has not promised, we miss the point. The purpose we are here and the reason why we have put away our blankets is for a better Kenya. And if there is a suggestion, an idea, or a comment that can help Kenya go better, it's worth the sacrifice.
When you get better, invite me, bro.
Okay, thank you. Andrew.
Yep, I'm here.
Long time no seen. Where did you go to?
Me, I usually gather my intelligence before I come here. This panel is so bright. Now, whatever Juma said is true. Me, my mom comes from Sakwa and I come from Rarieda. And I can tell you for sure, how Bondo is, trust me you, hata kama ni opposition, raundi, wacha tukule kitu. Mimi na support Junet kabisa. Tumeumia, tumefinywa, lakini anyway, let me go back to my point. Ana Waiguru. Hii kitu, look it in a different ways. And I always tell you that I'm a very intelligent person. I don't talk just before I talk. I usually make my research before I say something. Chances are all the presidential candidates might have running mates coming from the mountain, this other side of the mountain. When I talk about the mountain, it's mountain, Central Province, Ukambani, and this other. Hii upande ya Nyanza, Western nini, sawini mambo ya running mate. Huko sisi ni ma presidential candidates. That's number one. Number two, how do you know that maybe Anne Waiguru is a project that have been sent there? Because remember, Anne Waiguru has a baggage on his shoulder. Ruto has a baggage on his shoulder. All those people who are there, they have baggage on their shoulder. These people are gonna be started branding themselves. They're gonna branding them. They're gonna start branding them as wale ni wezi na hawa ni wengine. So the fact remains is Anne Waiguru, I think he has realized that she cannot get Kirinyaga. She wants to go for that vice president, which is I can see that happen. But at the same time, when that decision that Baba will make, that's when you know the reality of the politics is. Everyone is waiting for Raila to make his running mate. And Ruto is waiting for, if Ruto wanted to make a running mate, I think so by now. If he started campaigning that's my party leader, by the way. If my party leader wanted to make that decision, we could have made it long time, 3 years ago. But tunangoja, tuko na Waiguru tumeweka kwa box. Tunaangalia mwingine. Kaboga alikuja kajoin nani? Raila. Tuko na Peter Kenneth. Gender equality iko hapa. My friend, this mathematics is so hard. Unless you have the thicker brain that Raila has, which my party leader always, when something comes, he's always coming on the forefront and starts. My party leader is so good in the media, very good. Show off. Si tuko mbele, my friend. Hapo amwezi tutoa. Any question? Nimemaliza.
we are still coming, and to wait for us. We'll arrive in style. All the same, but Andrew, if you're complaining about the Bondo today, then you are not there when I came to Bondo using a Kamba bus many years ago. And the road was one vehicle, not two vehicles could pass. And the bushes were everywhere. The kind of infrastructure that is in Bondo right now, if anybody says nothing has happened, then that person is a visitor.
Okay, let me answer you. And this, I'm sorry to say this, my uncle was a chancellor of Bondo University. All those buildings you're seeing at the now Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University came because of my uncle. Okay? And this is a reality. You can Google Professor Washington Olima Assemble. Okay? And I will tell you this. Siasa ya Bondo na the way Bondo iko na Siaya. Kama kuna mtu alifanya kazi in Rarieda or in Siaya County as a whole, it's Tuju. Wengine wote ni kuandika kitabu.
Andrew,
that is for you. We'll investigate you. All the same, I want us to move forward. Patriot, what is it?
I'm telling my brother, this is a national platform, it's not a village platform. Those issues of CIA, Bondo, whatever, we don't want to know, because some of us might never visit Bondo, by the way. We will only
I was just answering the question.
Let me finish, Andrew. We will only visit Baba, some of us, in his state house. If he goes to Bondo, we will never come there. So Bondo, Siaya, whatever, those are your issues. You clear them there. We want Baba in state house.
Yeah, but I know that he's going to be in state house. I've even visited Baba at home in June and July when I was in Kenya.
We don't want to know anything like Bondo. Those are villages.
Thank you, the two of you. Asante sana. Bondo is in Siaya County. They have a governor and MCS. All their problems, they should solve them at a county level. Thank you very much.
Mr. Andrew,
Mike,
can I come in 1 second?
Not yet, Adams, except we have a question.
Just
for submission, let's finish the first round first. Then we may give you the first priority to be the first of the second round.
Okay.
Okay. Let's hear from Mike. I hope the network will accept this time.
Thank you. I can see, Bernard, you are aware of an unstable network. Maybe you can just fill in. Where can I put my input? In which area should I concentrate on?
Start from the beginning, because you had not started your submission.
Okay, I want to give you guys an analogy, and then I come back to my topic. There is this secondary school, a high school, a girls' high school, which was doing very well, and there was a very specific teacher who was very good in maths, and 70% of the students used to get S in that school. And along the way, a problem arose. The teacher had impregnated about 4 girls. Some were in Form 2, and another 2 had been made to abort. And this issue came up, and you know, nowadays there's DNA. There is so much you can do about denying and all this and this. So the issue went to the board, and the board of governors were now presented with the case. And there are people who talked about what do we do? Because these are serious issue, even from a legal point of view. One, that you have impregnated a minor. 2, you are actually you have caused an abortion. Those are 2 actually criminal offenses. But then there was this very positive attribute about this teacher. Nationwide, the school in fact, there were schools, private schools, which were willing to pay double to have that teacher. So I want to bring this in politics. We have two people, and I have a lot of respect for them. Anne Waiguru has credentials that are very, very good. Some, I don't know whether you are aware, she got an international award for her introduction of the IFMI system, one that has even been borrowed across Kenya, African countries. And actually is a very good system. She has a good record of creating very good, strong structures in the government system for accountability, as much as you would want to really overemphasize on the issue of NYS. Then take number two, William Ruto. William Ruto as a person is very energetic, very transformative. I might not deny that he brought some change in agriculture. He brought some change in the university when he was Minister of Higher Education. But these are people who have baggage, and Kenyans are being faced with the same situation as that board of governors that had to make a decision of whether to let that teacher go or sacrifice the few girls and keep the school on the national map. If you look at Jubilee, Jubilee prides itself as having created over 9,000 kilometers of roads, SGR and all that. But if you look at the cost at which they did that, it is a rip-off. Kibaki was able to do a 40 kilometers of road with a mere less than 20 billion, and it is a super highway that you cannot compare to the funny roads that we see. SGR was budgeted by the Nusumkate government at 250 billion. Jubilee came and brought it to 350 billion. The same plan, same infrastructure, same contract. So we need to agree that these people can deliver, but at what cost? And that is what I always go back to the issue of character and integrity. Because it's not just good to say they have a good record of delivering. Behind the delivering is their efficiency, is their accountability, and is their integrity. Because Kibaki did what he did very efficiently with minimal, I'm not saying zero, but with very minimal corruption and wastage of public resources. Number two, there's somebody who was saying that Waiguru going to UDA will complicate the Kirinyaga politics. If all these people are in UDA, there's no complication. Some of us are taking politics very personal. Machiavellian, I think the philosopher said, in politics, one of the things you do is when you go up, the person who helped you go up is the first one you need to bring down. So Ngirichi being thrown under the bus will be done without blinking of an eye, and they will not even have an apology. If Waiguru coming in will package UDA to look more national and more corporate. So don't agonize over the internal politics. Ngirichi can be thrown under the bus without any hassle. And remember again, our Kenyan politics has not matured. Parties still have their owners, and the arrangement is made at the high level. Waiguru is not going there as a stranger. As somebody has said, there is a certain agreement and arrangement that has been made that has convinced her that joining UDA will secure her interest. Because again, politics is about interest. We get so emotional with politicians when they make certain personal decisions, and we think they stand for us. They stand for themselves first, and then for us second. And Mandago told us, usiweke siasa kwa roho, it will give you answers for nothing. So for me, I'm looking at the two groups you've given us. One might not have that energy, but it has the stability and some continuity. The other one has energy. The one that I'm talking about of energy is the Ruto Waiguru. It's very energetic, very creative, but it carries a lot of baggage, and we need to have an agreement on what are you willing to have. Go very fast and have an accident ahead, or go slowly and reach where you want to go. People keep also saying about record. I'm a Baba person, and people keep asking about what have you done. We need to start by saying and agreeing that one, Raila has never been president. So there are certain things you ask of Raila that you should be asking somebody who has been in power or in presidency. But if you asked me in terms of credentials, there are certain things that Kenyans have never quantified. Development is not about buildings. The first development of a country is about its philosophies. Countries like Japan, like any country that has developed, it started with a very strong foundation about its people, its trust in the systems and all that for it to move. And that is what Raila started by doing. Raila has been in two revelations: the creating the right space for people to feel free to walk around, bringing money to people, removing money from a centralized government through devolution. That was the 2010 constitution. Those are things that people will not quantify, because to them development is roads, buildings, and unfortunately these roads and buildings are just shortcuts for people to make money from tenders that are overpriced. So whenever you hear a politician talking so much about development, there's also always a personal interest, because these big tenders are never given without consideration to these politicians. Remember, we have not been explained where the 250 billion Eurobond tender went to. 250 billion in an economy like Kenya is not money that can disappear in thin air. We should have seen where it went. But up to now, nobody has ever explained, and we might never even get that explanation, because it looks like both sides had a share and none is willing to expose the other. So I think those are the things we need to grapple with. As we move ahead, let us agree that we have two very formidable forces, but then we need to choose who is the lesser evil of the two. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Hallelujah.
you, Mike.
Praise the Lord.
Andrew, you stay in order, or else you go to quarantine in no moment from now. Now, any question to Mike?
Yeah, I have a question.
What is the question?
So, Mike, let me ask you, if I may ask you, what do you think that with the next government, let's, God forbid that UDA take the office, do you think these corruptions that have been, some of the people in the UDA have on their shoulder, do you think that they're going to be resolved, or that's a way of just, smashing it on the Indian Ocean and let it go?
We don't want to discuss an impossibility. That's not going to happen. So don't bring it up, Andrew.
Patriots, we need to be very objective. Some of us, we were so sure that Uhuru and Ruto having a case in ICC would not, their chances of getting to president was very remote. But yeah, they are serving the second term. So let us, as I'm a Baba diehard, but I'm always also very objective. You have asked whether, of course, it is given that UDA will not give so much attention to corruption. It will cover it up with the development. And that's what I started by saying. Jubilee has really boasted of having done 10,000 kilometers of roads. But if you look at the cost of a kilometer per road in Kenya versus Rwanda, it is triple. So as a country, we need to reconcile. Are we willing to accept these big words of development at an exorbitant cost, or we get somebody who will go slow but not rip us off? Those are the things we need to grapple with. But take it home that UDA will not fight corruption. It is not in their priority.
Andrew,
Okay.
Yeah, another question for you, please.
Andrew, no. You had a chance to ask question. If you asked one, wait until another round. You would have asked both questions at the same time so that you get answered. Hold on.
A quick one, Bernard, for Mark. Mark, you have just said that. Mike, sorry. Mike.
Okay, that's it. Yakub.
Yeah, quick one for Mike. Mike.
Quickly.
I want Mike to clarify that what does it need for someone maybe to bring development to his people? Baba has been holding so many ministerial positions. The Prime Minister, Minister of Energy, Minister of what? Around 4 or 5 key ministers. But in the constituency he has been serving, even I have shame to mention it, because it is an apathetic condition up to now, until when the late Ken Okoth brought some.
You have just put it very well. Baba was Prime Minister, Minister for Energy, and Minister for... Actually, when you are given such a national position and you use it to selectively favor your people, then that actually violates the ethics of your office. Those are national offices, they are not village offices. When you become a Minister of Energy, you sit in a cabinet where decisions of energy are made collectively, and you are given the responsibility to carry that exercise. When Mau Forest was being, for instance, being preserved, it was not only Raila as a person who decided that we should preserve the forest. It was a cabinet decision formulated through a manifesto of the government of the day that one of the key priorities was to protect our environment. So when you tell me that the Minister of Education, for instance, should go and develop schools in his village, then you are telling us when you are appointed a minister, then you are appointed to go and serve in your village. That is a national office, not a village office. And decisions made in the cabinet are not for villages or for constituents. They are made for national interest. And that's why that's why we have what we call cabinet papers, where we make collective decisions that are then executed by respective ministries. So to ask Baba as a Minister of Energy to take electricity to Bondo because he's Minister of Energy, that is actually what we are trying to fight, that people should not benefit because their tribesmen are in office. People should benefit because the government has a policy to develop each and every inch of the country equally. And that's what we are talking of, inclusivity and equality. Remember, the 2020 constitution was brought because of such inequalities, that when the president was there, he would only favor his region. The devolution was to now make sure every county gets its share of revenue, so that we don't have somebody sitting at the centralized office deciding where money should go. Now money has to go equally to Turukana, to Coast, to Mombasa, and everywhere.
Mr. Bernard, can I just answer Mr. General Yakub for a minute?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Yakub, I know it has been said that you don't need to put politics in your heart, yes, but let me tell you something. Whenever you're talking about the person Raila Odinga, stop comparing with your area MP or your area MCA. You need to understand the person you are talking about. You're talking about Raila Odinga. It is Raila Odinga who has made even you to be who you are today. Speaking on this space you see here today, the freedom this guy has fought for, the civic rights, the space, the freedom of speech that you see and assembly in Kenya.
People never used to. Did you live in Kenya during the Moi era, during the Nyayo regime? I think maybe you are living under the umbrella of your parents. Let me tell you something. It is really raw and too remote and too low. When you talk about Raila Odinga, then you bring the Kibra thing. I know you wanted to talk about Langata. You're saying you don't want to mention it. I know what you're talking about. Raila Odinga is the first person in Africa, the continental Africa, to come up with a system of slum upgrading. You didn't know that. Now you know. I've told you that for free. He did a lot of stuff. Okay, even the thing these people been bragging around, like the rural electrification in Kenya. Those are his own idea. The SGR. He has done things nationally. Stop narrowing things when you're talking about Raila. Then you talk about Bondo. He has never been a member of parliament for Bondo ever since the earth was created. Come on. He is from Bondo, but he has never been a member of parliament from there. Why do you guys want to narrow things and make him look like a village MCA? This is a national guy. He has done so much for you across the sectors, because the little chance he has got, this guy has fought for people. The other day you had his daughter Winnie was saying that even though he's their dad, but he has been out there fighting for you, your family, Mr. Yakubu. So when you talk about Raila, come on, stop. You can't compare Raila with the rural root of these people around here. He's even fought for them, the constitution. Now we even brag here with the dual citizenship. Without this guy, we could not have those such kind of things. So before you talk about Raila, maybe you need to sit back and research, then you come and talk to the public. This show here, a lot of people are watching it and they don't come into the show and they just judge you. They say, what kind of a person is this? Who is this guy? You need to research a little bit, brother. Thank you.
A quick rebuff, Bernard. A quick
one.
Okay, order please. Order please.
A quick one.
Okay, Yakub, what is it?
A quick one for Adams and Mike.
Let me finish.
So, Mike, you have just said,
General Yakub, when you are given an opportunity to ask questions, you ask all your questions, then wait for the answers. You don't ask a question, then get the answer, and then begin to ask, because we have people on the queue who are supposed to be speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, so that the debate is not between the two of you, it's between all of us.
Okay.
So reserve your question until it's your turn. When it will be your turn to submit, you will submit starting with your question, and then the mentioned people will respond when they are making their submission. Sawa. Patriot, what is it?
I just want to add one statement to my able panelists. I think the answers have come out very clearly. Both Mike and Adams, they have actually brought out the expectation of some of us who support Baba in as far as those answers are concerned. However, there is something I think that needs to be added there so that we make that answer become solid and sound. You see, when you talk about Baba, just the way Adams put it, you need to know who you are really talking about. You have to understand the history of this country in as far as the infrastructure of legislation, infrastructure of democracy development. That is the area that Baba began from. You see, even for you to have a devolved governance or government, in that case, that is able to put roads as infrastructure, build homes and houses, offices, create employment, you needed to have policies that are well structured in the constitution. So those kind of policy infrastructure primarily formed the basis of what made Raila to be who he is. Those are buildings. Buildings and the economic development of this country, and as far as democracy is concerned, is not only limited to the physical buildings and the infrastructure that you're seeing, and that's why I agree with my brothers when they talk about the freedom of speech. That's one of the most of the critical, elements in the achievement of what Baba did. So to be specific here, Baba fought for multipartism, the introduction of multipartism, to give you the specifics for you to understand. And the other thing that Baba did, Baba has always fought for tribalism. Let me tell you, and I'll give you an example of where I come from, what Baba did, and that's why some of us will always vote for him. In Nyamira, there's a road called Kisii Chemosit Road. Kisii Chemosit Road. That's a road that traverses Kericho via Nyamira to Kisii town. That road, the late Honorable H.E. used to use that road as a gimmick. During the campaigns, he used to own, those were the elite in terms of tools of trade, as far as Kisii was concerned. So manipulating the order of the political terrains was the order of the day when it comes to who has what. When you have the tools of trade, that time you will actually hoodwink the voters to go one direction just because you want to give them fake promises. So what H.E. will do is this. H.E. will pick tractors, he'll put them on the road, talk about the caterpillars, and give you the feeling that he's actually making those roads. Then after the election is over, once the fuel, that very fuel the caterpillars are carrying, ikiisha, basi hiyo barabara inabaki hapo. So when Raila came, Kisii talked to him when he was the Minister of Roads. They told him, Raila Odinga, si watu ya Nyamira, wakamwambia tumeteseka sana. H.E. did not want the road of Kisii Chemosit to be built specifically because he did not want development to come from, to be diluted, because the Kisii road was the one that was going through Bomet. So this is a road that was going to open up development in Nyamira. So he would wing these people for far so long. Once Raila understood that, when he became the minister with the P.S. Karanja, he is the one who supervised, made sure that that road of Kisii Chemosit Road was tarmacked up to Nyamira, from Nyamira to Sondu, down to Ahero. That was the work of Raila. I'm giving you a secret today why the Nyamira people will always vote for Baba. When H.E. was there, he actually messed the economy of Kisii at the expense of politics. Raila is the one who saved the Nyamira people. And if you want to know too, as I finalize back to you, the people who support Raila in Kisii are the Nyamira people. Right? They are the people who told the Kisii County why we should support Raila. Raila came to be our savior when he was needed most. So for you to imagine that you want to pick this kind of sloganeering and mudslinging of people who come in platforms to speak about Raila and Kibra and Bondo, that's why I was clear to tell you, to us, Raila is a nationalist. We are not talking about village leadership. We are talking about national leadership. And remember, Raila has never become a president. So this is the time. And even the Thika Road, you had that. For some of you don't know. Thika Road, the one who designed the Thika Road, it's Raila Odinga. The rural electrification, the way Adam put it, it's Raila Odinga. In fact, if you had to write books about what Baba did, other than these people talking about bottom wherever, nothing, you will write many books that it will take you time for you to complete them. Thank you so much. And I think it's important that to be made clear that Baba has so much to do with where we are as a country in matters development, infrastructure, the peace we enjoy today, the freedom, the human rights, all that. It is a long story. So I think when you speak without knowing that, you must be a new person in Jerusalem. Thank you.
Thank you, Patriot. Penny?
Yeah, maybe just to add on to what Patriot has said, there is this propaganda that has been crafted by the Hustler Nation that says that if you want to know about history, you choose Baba, but if you want to know about the future, you vote Ruto. So the reason why this propaganda has been crafted is to derail our youth from knowing the history of this nation, because they know that when they know the history of this nation, where we are from and where we are going to, then the youth will be able to make a very informed decision. So the aim of this propaganda is meant to brainwash our youth to look at history as something that is not important. Because you find that during the Madaraka Day speech and a lot of many other rallies that have been held by Baba in the Mount Kenya region, Baba has been trying to give an overview of what happened in the past, ranging from the time when his father and the founding father of this nation were fighting for independence, all the way to the moment when his father began grooming Kibaki to be a politician right from Makerere University, up to the time when he said Baba Tosha, Kibaki Tosha, sorry. So these people they're on a mission to hoodwink the youth, to disregard history, the very thing that is carrying the truth, some of the truths and the facts that they need to know about our nation. So they take advantage of the youth like Yakub, who do not know what happened in the past, to be able to make an informed decision by telling them that history is not important. And therefore, I would urge all our youth that when Babaman is giving a brief overview of what happened in the past, he doesn't do that just for the sake of it. He wants all the youth to be able to get all the facts and the things that happened in the past that would enable them to make informed decisions. So I think Yakub, you really need to go back into the history and know what happened in the past. If you go back to the history, you'll understand you'll understand Baba more when you study history.
Okay, thank you, Penny. I think that settles that. It is important that we remain objective in our judgment. And that's why I said we shouldn't just push for an idea because of somebody's association. We have a nation called Kenya that we must preserve for generations yet to be born. And for that to happen, we must have some principles, at least, that govern us. In just my general observation, the DP and his team have a way of trying to keep Kenyans and their promises hanging somewhere on air without a policy, without a constitution provision, without a vision cast, so that when those promises don't come to pass, nobody will refer anywhere and raise up questions. Any person who is serious about moving the country to the next level would want to have what he promises to be documented, supported by the Constitution, provided for by the policies for the formulation of the same. So that's the difference between these two people that are asking for leadership. One is talking about Vision 2030, picking it where it was stopped and push it to bring about development. The other one says, forget about Vision 2030, forget about history, forget about independence, forget about heroes. He is the one and only hero. He thinks, we execute. I can't bank on that. Mutanilaumu bure, lakini hiyo haileti shangwe kabisa. Not in this generation, not even in the past. Our grandparents spend a lot of time telling us where our great-great-great-grandfather came from and how they traveled, so that we know our lineage as a people. That gives us an identity, that anywhere we are, we can identify ourselves as this. So anybody who is afraid of history is about to turn you into a slave. Watch out. Shavan. Upo. Shavan 1. Ustada. Is he Ustadi? Okay, Shavan inaonekana yupo. Jonathan? Ama mic yangu ifanye kazi.
Who? Me?
Yes. Are you able to get me?
Yeah.
Yes, maoni yako tukianza round ya pili.
Oh, yeah. So, Bernard, there's one thing also I want to say today. But maybe tunaweza kuwa tunaongeanga kila siku when we talk, but we don't know what's the secret behind these things. Maybe someone is being played somewhere. We can say that because, like, for example, when I look on another perspective, like you see, our dearest president was in Kirinyaga. All of a sudden, when the Masuja days finished, then Waiguru comes out and she now says that she's now in UDA. You see, this every side we have every coin has two sides. So we don't know who is playing who. At the end of the day, we don't know who is playing who, Bernard. And the next thing inanikera zaidi, like now kina Rigathi Gachagua wamepata kitu ya kuongelea, like since the day that Junet Mohammed said that word in Kisi, now every day when they wake up, it's the same thing they are saying. Now it's like now they wanachochea watu, like now they are now bring that propaganda of like 2012, like Raila said that Wakikuyu when akishika ushukani Wakikuyu watavaa vinyasa. Now he's repeating every day and every day. We must not allow this to continue like nowadays, because this is not the right way of politics. Now he's saying now every time akiamka ni media, akiamka ni kwa media, kama yuko kwa TV yuko outside ameita press conference, the same thing. Junet said this. Junet is Raila's spokesman. Junet, who told him that Junet is Raila's spokesman? Every time he stands, he says the same thing. Raila sends Junet to say this. Raila sends Junet to say that. So you see, Kikuyu don't be fooled. You blah blah blah. That's not the right way to go. Let them focus on their agenda. Let them not focus on what Junet said. That's like they are trying now to say that now they are wameshinda kila kitu. Now they are trying to incite people to hate Raila again. You see, they have realized that Raila now is making inroads in Mount Kenya. Now he has now come with a small thing. Now he's becoming now bigger. Now he's talking every time, every now and then. It's the same thing is now uttering every day.
Okay.
A quick one.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah, I had not finished, but my network has been bad. Just a quick one. One, just to pick up from where Penny said, history is not kind to Ruto, and he will avoid it as much as possible. One is he fought devolution. Devolution brought devolution, and development has been witnessed all over. Number two, he was in the Kanu dictatorial regime when Babu was fighting for multipartyism. Those are not stories you want to remind Kenyans about him when he was with the Jirongo and YK92 fighting multipartyism and devaluing our shilling. So that one, he will avoid it as much as possible. And that's why the youth appeal to him. 25 years and below, just 10 years ago, they were in primary, so they will not know what happened. That's why I can tell them he used to sell chicken and they believe. But just going back, I think I want to help Yakub. We need to help our friend like Yakub understand what leadership is. Leadership is not about a person giving out money from his pocket. I want to give you two iconic leaders of the 20th, or let's say 21st century. What is Mandela remembered for? He got a Nobel Prize. What is Obama remembered for? He also got a Nobel Prize. If you did Mandela, Mandela came from one of those smallest towns that are very backward. So if you blame Mandela for the backwardness of his hometown, he wouldn't have been president, because there is no school he built, there is no Harambe he did, but he came out of prison and became president. It is what he stood for. And it is how he inspired fellow blacks in South Africa to believe in themselves and to fight for independence. Obama is remembered for inspiring the Americans using the I can. There is no school he has developed. There is no Harambe in any record. Not even a single pupil he has paid school fees for. Read his books. It is just inspiring the masses to believe in themselves and be the best they can. That's what a leader is for. A leader is to inspire have a vision, and direct people in a certain way where they can achieve their highest potential. So in Kenya, we have the likes of Yakub have been told, for you to be a leader, you must carry money in sacks and throw in every market center you go to. So that if you are poor, then in Kenya, you cannot be a leader, because leadership is how much money you have. And that is a very myopic way of defining leadership. Thank you.
Okay, James?
Yes. First of all, let me talk about the issue of history. History, I've listened to some of the leaders from Mount Kenya, one of them being Rigathi Gachagua, who is the tout and running mate of Ruto. He's consistently saying that, contemptuously, the youth are not interested in those histories that Raila talks about. They are interested about the future, about the jobs, about the, that kind of thing. I think it is understandable to some of us why they would look at the history in a contemptuous manner, especially because if we go back to what these people have done to this society, to the Kenyan masses in the past, starting with that Rigathi, when he was the DO, it is a very ugly type of history that if the youth came to know, they would quickly reassess their choices. So I'm sure it is because they feel uncomfortable about the information that may come out about them, which may dent their chances of winning. But then what we do, because we must also appreciate that our youths are quick. They are quickly bored by information that they think does not have an immediate impact to them. And that not to say that they may not want to know where we are coming from. It's, I think, the nature of the lifestyles that we are having today. What to do is a big challenge, especially for the group that will be arranging the campaigns for Baba, because this information is crucial and could potentially tilt the thinking of a significant number of the youth. So I think they are uncomfortable about that history, because some of them have never fought for anything. If anything, they have been part of the problem that we have. They remember the YK92, the kind of the situation that was created is part of the problem, the economic problem carryover that we still are dealing with here. And also the human rights abuses that were perpetrated by the likes of the administrators like Rigathi is very fresh in our minds. So these people wouldn't be comfortable with the history, yet history is a good indicator about the character of the person you are going to entrust your life with. I don't think they will be willing for that information to come out and be known by the public. Now, going into the future, I think we are charged with the responsibility. I don't know whether this is accommodatable in the education system, so that these matters are well documented, so that people don't make mistakes. We don't repeat the same mistakes we made in the past, because what you notice is that the possibility of going back to where we were in 1990s when we had to fight for our rights could easily come back here in a very short while if we are not careful. You have already seen threats coming from some of the people in certain parts of the country that if you don't do this, we'll do this other, which is very quite scary, and also, denies people the free will, the right for self-determination. So the defense of the legacy is something that we should guard. Then, when you look at the issue of Baba, I always feel a bit jittery when somebody asks what Papa has done. The reason being very simple. You see, what happened immediately we introduced multi-party system. Moi came up with a system where he was to depress the enthusiasm about multipartyism. So what he did, he actually deliberately skewed the government regis to want the politicians leaning on Kanu side who would call as many Harambes as possible in neighboring constituencies where the neighboring MP was an oppositionist, to kind of send a message to the constituency that is neighboring, that you see you are making a big mistake when you elect somebody of a party that is not Kanu. And it seemed to work well, and perhaps that is why Kibaki, when he came in, he actually banned. He banned Harambes and instead found another way of funding development, because it was a kind of a corrupting system where you use government resources to kind of refat or depress the multi-party system. So I don't know, those who ask that, maybe they would wish to see, then it came like, if you are a good reader, when you look for money wherever you get it and come and build a classroom or build a church or whatever, that is what was being brought out at that time as a way of containing the other parties that were competing with the KANU. And it worked well then. And that is why Kibaki, when they came in, they really fought the Harambee system and left it at family level. If you want to meet and have tea and contribute towards your marriage or death and the rest, it was left at that level. But in terms of government, government development, that was planned through CDF and other ways. So we must confront these people who ask what Raila has done by facts. And it is because they don't understand. That's why they may ask such questions. Because truthfully, no leader is expected to get money from his pocket to give to the public. It doesn't work that way. And it cannot actually generate development, because if you look at the kind of rounds that Moi made in this country, if you go and try to quantify what development he did with that kind of system, you'll be shocked. It is very little. Yet he spent so much energy and rounds. So let us be factual. Let us be fair. Let us be respectful when we talk about some of these things. We also notice that even initially the CDF was very little, so it is possible that Raila could have prioritized the bursaries for students in that area to at least save some of them, to give them a future, rather than going to the physical facilities. So I wanted just to make that clarification, because some of our youths may not understand where we are coming from. Thank you.
Bernard, I'm back.
That is Shavan.
From where?
Yes,
From
yes,
where?
yes.
From where?
Okay, hold on,
Don't
hold
Can I
on.
worry.
add something? Can I add something to Jonathan?
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, just
Be
a
fair.
quick
Be
one.
fair. No, be fair.
Okay,
Just
hold
a quick one.
on. You
I
guys,
just
let's be in order. Shavan, hold on. You are the one who is yet to make your submission. We are coming to you. Mike, what is it?
I think we need to identify leaders that we admire and look at the attributes and say these are the people, the likes of people we need to admire. If you go back, and that's why history is not kind to very many people who are renewed here. If you go back to Tom Mboya came up with a program of the flight that took very many Kenyans to the US, and some of them, including Obama's father, benefited from. That is a program that was not personalized, and even you'll not hear. You couldn't hear Tom Mboya even mentioned anywhere, but it's a program that was very well planned that helped very many people. You know, when you want to help people, help them in a structured way. But for me, I have a problem with person carrying money in his boot and dropping it in every marketplace and calling it empowerment. That is very backward and primitive way of developing a country.
Thank you. I think that's clear enough. Let's just remain focused. 1, 2. Nobody who wants to buy his way into office has an interest for the country. Anybody who has an interest for the country, he will invest in bettering. We will never have a better Kenya until we have better Kenyans. So if somebody is not improving the lives of Kenyans in terms of the exposure, the education, the infrastructure, the better policies, that is somebody who is out to enslave people. And there's no other language we can describe such a person. And we shouldn't even debate about it. So let's wake up and realize kuna yule ambaye anakutupia ile mahindi ya kukamata kuku. Kule natoka kuku is a very important part of our society. So when visitors have arrived and the chicken is needed to make the stew, you come out with some seeds and then drop. Let the chicken follow it to the house, and then that is slaughter. All this money flying around, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million for this empowerment and all that, it is ile mahindi ya kukamata kuku. Kuku akishakamatwa atachinjwa. That's the end of the story. Tusidanganyane hapa. Aya, Shavan.
Yes.
Karibu.
Thank you. First of all, hi guys.
Hi, Sema. Karibu.
I don't want to go much into history, but I want to summarize this way. History speaks by itself. For us to have you as a leader, we have to know your past. What have you done? How have you been reacting? And how, what are the stories behind you? That is, those are the things that I can say. Us as Kenyans, we are the people to decide. And that is why you always see on the screens, Kenyans decide. If you want to go to the wrong way, you go to the wrong way. If you want to go to the better way, you go to the better way. Now, the young generation of nowadays who have never voted even once have been brainwashed to an extent that they can't even see their future, how their future is going to be, and how their parents will also help to mentor them be in a better way. You find people that are forming some sluggish groups that will not help them. Then they come together and then being swayed or swindled with some tokens or handouts, whatever. Then they come in celebrating that this is the one, this is the one. My friends, if you want to vie for a position, if you don't have any way of marketing yourself, just look for one person only, and your name will surround your community. Just buy even a glass of alcohol to a drunken man, your name will all be all over the place. That is a fact. Or even a dot. So that is what the young generation of nowadays, who have never voted even once, that is how they are. Waiguru getting into the other side is not a news or breaking news. That one has been, we've been waiting just to see her there. She was just behind the curtain. She knew what she was doing, and you could even hear the reactions during the Mashujaa Day in Wanguru, how people were there. And today I came to realize that those people are it had been organized through the fact. Go to look for the Wamuchomba story, the women from Kiambu. She had confessed that everything had been planned, of which they wanted to ferry people from other regions to attend, but the intention were turned down by the minister, by the interior CAs that had said that only some few people were to enter the stadium, so they couldn't do that. But anything that you see that happens to the other side, those things are being organized, and the way they organize them, they know how they do organize them. My question is, why are we selling Kenya? Why are we selling Kenya? We are doing something that we know we are doing. That is not the other people that have got the mind that apart from the young generation of nowadays. We are selling Kenya, and the way we will buy Kenya back will not be easy. Will not be easy. So please advise your fellow, anybody, to open his or her eye. Let them not be blinded with whatever they see. I voted twice. This is the third time that I'm going to vote. But Kenya that we are going to have should be a better Kenya, not a bad Kenya. Bernard, I want to say this. If Raila could listen to me now, I don't know how I can reach him. I would be happy if Ruto is elected the president. I'll be happy to hear Raila calling people to either one of the stadiums or one of the fields and tell people, either anybody or the followers or any other person who would like to listen to him, telling us that we have tried to reach there, but we've been defeated. Whichever way, even stolen or any other kind of the way that they've been defeated. Enough is enough. Let me rest. Away from politics, whichever way, let him go and stay at home. I would be happy to hear that news, breaking news, that Raila has gone. If he doesn't achieve...
Shetani ashindwe.
Okay, okay, it is better. I don't hope for that also, but if it happens, that is my if it happens, that is what I mean. Okay, thank you.
Shavan.
Yes.
The struggle can never stop until we achieve what we need to achieve.
But to an extent, it becomes too difficult.
Both the retired, the current, and the future soldiers remain on the battlefield until the war is won. I would want us to appreciate the fact that as much as Baba has given his life to fight for this country, it is now our turn to give our life to fight for this country. But we shouldn't use him as we are fighting for him. I don't think Baba has anything to lose by not being president. He has done his best and beyond expectations. But
can I talk? Can I talk, Bernard?
Hold on. I have not even finished my statement. What do you want to talk?
Because you're being biased.
I'm not being... You wait for your party leader will give you direction. He's the only thinking person in that fraternity. The rest of you listen to what he has taught, and then you come and tell us. So relax. Thank you. So let us not turn this into, we are not fighting for Baba. Baba has fought for us. This time around, we are going to do everything doable to see to it that whatever dream we have had for this country is achieved. Okay? And in the unlikely event that it is not achieved now, there is no surrender, there is no turning back. We are still going for a better Kenya, where every Kenyan must be comfortable being a Kenyan, proud of being Kenyan, and whether it will take 100 years, that must be achieved.
The war is not won until it is won. Tell him like that.
Let me talk.
No, you guys are being biased. Can I talk now?
Andrew.
No, no. I don't want to talk. Please.
Hold on, Shavan. Okay, it's okay. And in fact, mute.
Stop, my friend.
Mute.
Hi, Penny.
Hi.
Penny.
Yes. Hi. Hi, Shavan.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. I want just to recognize you. I want just to recognize you being part of this conversation, being the only lady.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing leadership in you. Maybe we'll vote you in as the women rep. Maybe after somebody else.
Wewe enda lipa Balala akupatie hiyo jina yenye alipatiana.
Lippy?
Okay, Jonathan, your hand will get sick. Okay, Tom.
Yeah, I will get sick. Actually, it's not even the young generation. Imagine, I have a friend, a very known. His brother is a governor. I can't mention, but I will say it. He's pursuing me. He's pursuing me to join UDA. And you know what he told me? He told me that corruption will never end. And he told me that when you want 2,000 shillings, I will send you. Then tomorrow I will tell you that when you send me that I have not given your children bursary, then tomorrow I will tell you. See, I sent you 2,000. So you see which kind of people we are now saying that we want to vote them in. He's not even caring about what in Kenya will go. Then I asked him, if our dearest deputy president come, Nene, will he talk about corruption? Will the corruption reduce? Or he said corruption will never end in Kenya. So which kind of people are those Bernard that we want to trust with this in our country to give them this position? I have never even seen one day or one time. I follow him and I listen to him every day. I have never seen or hear our dearest deputy president is speaking about corruption. So which kind of a person, which kind of this group that we want to vote them in?
That is the purpose of their negative preaching. Nobody will ever be able to control you until he has subdued you to a place whereby you have accepted that his ideology is everything and above him there is no other. Now, that is what the colonial masters did and gave them the rulership they enjoyed until people got fed up enough to rise up and say, no, we can't have this to continue. And the people went into the forest to fight. They were not fighting for themselves. They fought for their children. Why? They wanted a better Kenya, a better future for their children. They say we may have suffered this, but we don't want our children to come and join us in this. We must create a better world for our children to enjoy. And that is what makes the spirit of the struggle to stay alive. This is not about us. It's about our children and our children's children. We cannot hand this country over to the will of those that want to run it down. Why? We have children, and those children are carrying the future, and that future must be better than our yesterday. It must be better than our today. So let every young person, those defeatist mentality, let it be swept out of every mind of every young person. Any young person thinking that we have nothing to do about corruption, there is nothing we can do about bad governance, there is nothing we can do about bad leaders, there is something we can always do. Talking like this, we are doing something about it. Talking to somebody, guiding them right, we are doing something about it. Going out and voting out bad leaders, it is something we are doing about it. So nobody should throw their hands in the air. It is not over until we win. Not the presidents only, not the parliamentary seat only, not the governorship seat. A better Kenya, where I will go out there, set up my business in Garissa, and I will not be afraid of what will happen to my business tomorrow. I want a Kenya where it is green all over. This story of semi-arid areas, we have had it since independence. It is a song that cannot be perpetuated. We can have a green Kenya from the north to the south. The technological advancement that has taken place, there is no excuse why we should have a place called semi-arid area in this country. Andrew.
All right. So anyway, let me take this opportunity and thank the beautiful lady. I think you have a lot of potential to be a very good leader. And thank you, Bernard. We the people of the UDA, we are so good in the PR and everything. And I thank you for showing up yesterday at the Karen. And you look good on the yellow T-shirt, man. That was so nice of you. So anyway, about the history, everybody has an history, and the history of my party leader is when you remember when this senator who died in Nakuru, is it the minority in what do you call it? I think it's in Nakuru or something like that, Lenkopoyel or something like that. And he said, nani alimaliza fertilizer, nani alimaliza mahindi, nani alimaliza nini, hiyo yote. And when you look that history, sometimes when I look at it, I see why did Raila elect put this my party leader to be agriculture. I think that was a catch up, and my party leader used that opportunity very well, whereby now when you go to Rift Valley, now story ni tutafufua mahindi, tutafufua inatangaje ukulimo ya now we are talking about agriculture, things that we were not talking when Moi was there. But because of the failure of Raila thinking of who to put somewhere, he did put it for my party leader. Now we have a story and an history to talk about for the election. So the people of Rift Valley, ukitaka fertilizer, piga kura. Ukitaka mahindi, piga kura. Now, that's the history. But the good thing is, we have highways and other stuff that is there, which is good. So that's another good history of the other side, and you know where the history goes. Na Waiguru, kazi mtaani pia ni sawa, lakini sasa saizi tumeenda huko, mbolea inatusumbua, mahindi inatusumbua, sasa tumerudi Kibira, tumerudi sijui Kongowea na wapi, hii yote inaleta shida. So as I told you, my party leader is a very good person, very generous. I'll give you what you want and I take what I want. So 2022 is a day for all of us to make that decision. a very wise decision. But anyway, thank you for the T-shirt. When you came over that yesterday, you are so good. And I have a picture of you, by the way, and I'll send it. I'll put follow me on my Facebook. Bernard, I have your T-shirt. Ulikuja kwa UDA huko jana.
Wewe unahitaji mchapo. Mimi uliniona UDA hata nikifika hivi kwa mlango, si mlango itafungwa.
Ulikuwa jana Bernard bana. Acha kudanganya. Wacha hii mambo ya kupiga simu usiku alafu mchana unajifanya holy than thou. Wachana nayo.
I'm happy that Patriot is here and we were with him yesterday. So he knows where I was yesterday.
UDA is known to propaganda. We know them.
But we know you people with spinning information. All the same. Bring the T-shirt, we will wear. But our vote, forget it. We must change this country. And nobody.
But do you respect my party leader?
Your party leader is a greenhorn that needs to take another 20 years to become presidential material. Thank you. Now, I want us to, leo tutafunga mapema. Naamini tumechangia ya kutosha, tuende raundi ya mwisho ili tusikae sana. Kesho pia ni siku. Alafu
Supatie mrembo aongee kidogo yawa. Yawa mafisi wote hata Balala lewapatia muanzishe mununue 2,000,000 fisi waeke jina yenyu. Amuwapatie hata opportunity. Bernard.
Wewe umesema Facebook unaitwa nani?
Auma Andrew.
Basi nitakufuata huko. Unipatie t-shirt yangu na elfu zangu zilikuwa 10 ama 5.
5. Wewe nene za kukununulia hata ndakununulia kamera. You're doing a good job my brother.
Asante. Now, we are going to take the last round and due to public demand, ladies first. We begin with Penny. We'll go that way. Penny, Patriot, Jonathan, Adams, tunaruka Andrew. Then James, General, alafu Shaban. Twende namna hiyo tafadhali. Penny, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, in our today's discussion, you are looking at two groups of people. That is the DP versus the DP and Waiguru, and Raila and Lee Kinyanjui. And I think I have something for the DP, especially with regards to the way he has been conducting his rallies. His rallies have been characterized by giving massive amounts of money, which to me is a complete undoing of what Kibaki had achieved in terminating. You know, Kibaki managed to lay a firm foundation of economic growth and development. And I think the same thing is what the DP is busy undoing, because one of the ways in which Kibaki managed to achieve economic growth for our nation is the fact that he realized that through the spirit of Arambe, which was so much engrossed and into our nation by President Moi, this Harambe was actually an undoing to us, as opposed to the benefits that it had for our nation. So right now we find the DP in every rally that he goes to, he always has plenty of money to give. And I think lastly, he promised those commercial sex workers some money into their circle. He advised them to form a circle so that he would pour money into that circle for their use. Not realizing that some of these people who are engaged in commercial sex are not necessarily because they do not have money, but probably it's leisure for them. You know, they do not engage necessarily because they do not have money. So for me, I don't think that is the right way of doing things. And we have been speaking so much on this platform and advocating for structured ways of doing things. So I would really urge our DP to stop giving money in the public rallies. He should stop giving money in the public rallies and rather seek for other structured ways of assisting the masses. Because if this is what worked for President Kibaki and we ended up with a GDP of up to 7% in 2007 when he left, when he retired, then I think common sense demands that successful people do what, if you want to be successful, you do what successful people have done. And I will always repeat that I think for me, Kenya needs to revert to the 2030 vision. And the idea of this populist bottoms up hustler narrative should stop with immediate effect. You know, let's go back to what our economist, our genius economist, President Kibaki did, and let's get serious about reviving the economy of this country by avoiding those populist ideas and giving out money. Yeah. So that's my take for now.
Okay, thank you, Penny. Can we follow on with Patriot?
Oh, yeah, I think I should conclude in my today's submission by stating the following. This country has come a long way. We are a country that has gone through a lot of turmoil, politically speaking, but by and large, today we stand proud of being called Kenyans, because in life, as Christians, we know there must be struggles. You must go through tribulations for you to feel, the hand of God in your life. But the lessons learned down lane is that trusting in God, you will always, get your dreams realized in your lifetime. If that does not happen, then that will be a reality in the generations to come, starting probably from your children. On the issue of today's topic, I think it's very clear that the two tickets are distinct and they are quite different. It's just like night and day. Raila Amolo Odinga, if you gave him a running mate in the name of Kinyanjui, he will bring victory to this country. And the points that my fellow panelists have actually, brought out clearly to the positive and as to why they think that ticket is a winning ticket. I think we cannot overemphasize the fact that the two are very serious and able leaders. They have been tested. When you look at the body language of the governor, the way he chooses his words, is a worthy person to be a model for our children, because being insulted, carrying vulgar language in your mouth, that in itself, it's not acceptable in the house that you will call executive order number 001. It is not fair that you want to be a president of this country and yet you have a balkanizing language, a language that cannot be even accepted in the back streets of Nairobi. Probably it is in one of those shady shanties, probably the former Kibera, that time before it was developed now, and you're telling us you want to be a president. It's very unfortunate when you listen to this kind of a language. And then to make the matter worse, this is the kind of a language that is spoken even on the podium, the pulpit, where God should be the one reigning in matters language. So it is clear that God has not left us. He is very clear to those who trust in him where we are going as a country. If by any good chance these are the kind of tickets that we got. Raila will make it to that house and we shall all rejoice. But there's good news for those who don't want to support him. Raila is not a tribalist. He'll be a president of Nyanza. Jonette was right. He'll be a president of Nyanza. He will be a president of Western. When he comes to Nairobi, Nairobians will own him fully as their president. When he'll go to Mount Kenya, they have a right to stake ownership, a piece of Raila as them. So it is also good to say that what Junet Mohammed said was really misinterpreted. It was picked out of context. If you listen to Junet, Junet is a man who jokes. He's a man of humor. It is not wrong to say this is it. It's just like you have built a very good house, then your wife walks out there, people praise her because she's telling people how she has built a very good house. Does that mean she has disowned you? No. It is correct when she says, I have a nice house, and they congratulate her. Then people start coming to say, you know what? Your wife is telling people that she's the only one who built the house. That's not what it is. You will be able to understand that your wife has a right to use your car to be her car, you know, to say your house is her house. So you can't draw the line of ownership of Raila's presidency. When the Nyanza people say, atakuwa rais wetu, Nairobians have an equal right of saying, atakuwa rais wetu, including the Mount Kenya. So it was as simple as that, and to me, it's not something that we really needed to overdwell on. So it is very clear in my view, from my considered opinion, that the politics of this country is shaping up very clearly. And as I said in my contribution, the going of the Honorable Waiguru, Her Excellency Waiguru to UDA, creates a better space for Raila's options of picking a better candidate for running mate from Mount Kenya, including you know, the able leadership that is depicted in the character of Mother Karua. So I think it is a good thing, and the sooner she went, the better, and I'm happy she did. The only thing that I'll urge Kenyans, as I conclude, is to be alive to the fact that it's now about a decade since we went through the most contested election 2007. The repercussions are known to everybody. It's an open secret that you know what happened. It's my prayer that Kenyans realized we have a country to protect. We have children to work for and to live for. Whatever comes and whatever happens in the next election, we must be able to participate in that election peacefully, knowing that this is a country that we all belong to. It's our motherland, and we cherish the reason why God gave us such a beautiful country to live on. So the peace and tranquility that is prevailing today, which has been set by the foundation of Azimio la Umoja, it is something that we must cherish beyond the election of tomorrow. May God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Years ago, I was in New York City. It was a dark Saturday afternoon. The minute black woman came up, the only question I heard from her was, "You Martin Luther King?" And I said, "Yes." The next minute, I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. That blade had gone through, and the x-rays revealed the tip of the blade was on the edge of my aorta, the main artery. And once that's punctured, you're drowned in your own blood. That's the end of it. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. After my chest had been opened and the blade had been taken out, from all over the states and the world, kind letters came in. One of them I will never forget. I had received one from the president and the vice president. I've forgotten what those telegrams said. I received a visit and a letter from the governor of New York, but I've forgotten what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl. Said simply, "Dear Dr. King, while it should not matter, I would like to mention that I'm a white girl. I'm simply writing you to say that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze." And I want to say tonight that I too am happy that I didn't sneeze, because if I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1960 when students all over the South started sitting in at lunch counters. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream, and taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1961 when we decided to take a ride for freedom and ended segregation in interstate travel. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962. The Negroes in Albany, Georgia decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere, because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963. Black people of Birmingham, Alabama aroused the conscience of this nation and brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have had a chance later that year in August to try to tell America about a dream that I had had. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been down in Selma, Alabama to see the great movement there. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been in Memphis to see a community rally around those brothers and sisters who are suffering. I'm so happy that I didn't sneeze. Like anybody, I would like to live, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
You can proceed.
Oh, okay, I'm back. So I was saying, let us all Kenyans, let us be serious with our country. Kenya is very big than all of us. Kenya is ours. Kenya is Maru, as Luo says. Because, let's say, for example, someone is telling you, the government will be for hustlers. Is he mean that he's going the hustler that they are saying every time that the hustler will be the one who will be set out every day? It's not the truth, because he will be ruling Kenya by himself, and he will have so much security. Even those hustlers that they are clapping every time and now and then, they will not be seen in state house. And the other thing, let us be serious with what people tells us, because people are clapping, people are dishing out money, they're giving you money, but this money, trust me, it will come in 2023, it will haunt you. The tax will be so high, and those people are clapping and jumping up and down and saying hustler, hustler. They'll be the one who will be the first one who will be the one who will be complaining. The life will be so hard. The life will be so hard, even you will not even have anywhere to go, because the money that you are receiving and you are clapping and you are happy and you are saying that hustler movement, bottom up, this money will haunt you and you will come to pay. After 2023, you will now see the true colors of our leaders, because they just come to us when they want to be elected. But when they are in the office, you will never see them. You will never see those money that they are giving you. You will suffer, and you will be suffering alone. And the tax will be high. You will be the only one who will be getting taxed. And you will be now complaining. Now you are clapping and jumping up and down. Let us be mature and let us be serious for this election in coming 2022. We need to be serious and we need to look forward. We don't need to look just in between. We need to see forward. What about our children, our grandchildren, and our great children will have better. We need to have a better country which everyone will be happy. And this thing, the last thing I can say, if someone is telling you that he wants only the need of one party, what do you expect? And we are now going back. That means that we will now be going back to the era of the back era, which we were in only one party. When you say something, then unanyamazisha, unasema shut up. You see, we need to be serious for real, Bernard.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Let's get Adams.
Yeah, thank you so much. My final submission just would just concern about our economy and the future. Our economy is really bad, and we can't have a future without economy. So the only people, it is very clear, we have definitely we have two horse race in Kenya, like when it comes to elections, as we stand even right now. So it is upon you and me to mobilize, to tell a friend, to go and tell a friend, our family members, to go and register and vote, not just registering, register and vote. And before they vote, let them vote the right people in office. Let them not vote for kleptomaniacs, because we have one ticket for reformists and people who are pro-democracy and pro-economy and pro the future of the country. And the other ticket is for kleptomaniacs. That goes without saying. It is obvious. That's what they are. So we really have, like, you see the clip that we just watched about Dr. King. The Dr. King that we have living and standing in Africa right now is Raila Odinga. He is the second Mandela, still standing. So this is somebody who really wants, like in Swahili they call him Kombozi. This is somebody who wants to save the entire generation. It cuts across, regardless of your age, no matter the tribe. He has been tested and tried, and he has been proven as well. So it's upon us to mobilize. We may have parents, we may have people behind us who are not so much enlightened, but as I can see the panel here, a lot, like all of us are enlightened. We need to tell people and spread the gospel of what it really is, the dangers of electing kleptomaniacs in the office and electing and the benefits of electing reformists. We need good economy. Our economy is really bad. $1 right now, as we speak, trades to 107 shillings in Kenya. That is really bad. By the time the colonists left Kenya, Kenya was better than Singapore. We would even borrow the money. But now we are really doing so bad. Why? Because the type of people we've always had in the office, tribalism, corruption, these are things which have killed our economy and our society so much. People may argue, like some of us here argue, people just argue like, oh, we don't like this person, history, blah, blah. You cannot know where you're going. We can't know. You can't really know who you really are if you don't know your history. You have to know your background. You have to know your roots. When President Obama wanted to become the president of the United States, he is an American by birth, but he had to dig down to his roots, and he went back to Kenya, up the dusty little village in Kogelo, just to trace his roots. Why? Because he had a very, very big task ahead of him. That's how things are. Even if you're a Christian, when Jesus Christ was about to die, he went back to the mountain and prayed and told God that to let that cup pass him. So people coming here and lecturing us, telling us that Raila and history, blah blah, Ruto is futuristic, is a lie. We need to look at the bigger picture. This is our generation right now. What about our children? What about our children's children? So what we do today impacts generations and generations to come. You see, right now we are suffering. Why are we suffering? We are suffering because of the sins and misfortunes that were committed by the likes of Kenyatta and Moi. We are the people suffering now. But with them, they're dead. They stole a lot of money. They squandered a lot of funds from the public, their taxes. So, like someone said, I think it was Patriot, that we really need to be very careful. Otherwise, these people will squander a lot of things in the country, and then at the end of the day, we'll be paying a high taxes, which will not really look good for us. So let's register and vote. And when you're voting, vote consciously. Don't vote with your stomach. Don't vote with your emotions. Just vote consciously. And this way, we can change the generation. Don't bother, even if they're going to steal election. Do your right duty. Do your civic duty. Do your right and go your way, but mobilize. Thank you and have a good night.
Okay, thank you, Adams. That is great. General Yakub, are you still there? General in Kamamelala. Okay, let's hear from Geoffrey. Geoffrey, you are always coming when we are about to go.
So you've left Shavan, eh?
We are following the line. I know you are there, and we are coming to you after Geoffrey. We'll go like that. Tony will have the last word.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Bernard.
So you are free to make your brief submission before you give your closing remarks, since it's your first submission.
Yeah, I can say thank you for.
Sorry, you're still mute. Unmute.
I'm sorry. I say thank you kwa nafasi. I'm a little bit late because mambo ya kasi, but I just got home nikaona waja niangalie see what's going on here. Kwanza na wasalimu my brother Bernard, my sister Benny, Patriot, Adams too, Ayako, Tony and Shavan na Jonathan huko nimemwona. Habari ya asubuhi, jioni, mahali popote mlipo. Let me say,
Salama, tuko poa. Asante.
Let me go straight to the topic of the day. About the realignment of Anna Waiguru and the Deputy President, our Prime Minister, and Rick Kinyanjui. What I can say that this is the beginning. The realignment is coming by February next year. Is when you're gonna know everybody where it is, because people are testing the water. But even if they do whatever they are doing now, I know that Baba knows what he's doing. And for Waiguru joining the UDA, it's not a surprise. The thing is, let us give it time until next year by February. That's when you're going to know exactly where everybody belongs to. The only thing you can say that let us continue encouraging our people to register as voters as many as they can, because we know if we do so, That's the only tool we'll use to take Baba to State House. And thank you, the panelists, for the good political analyzing you're doing here in our Tembe channel, because it's educating us and it's giving us, our people, enlightenment, what's on the ground and what we will expect to be next year general election. I said thank you very much. That's what I have, and have a good night.
Okay, thank you, Geoffrey. We appreciate you. Shaban.
Okay, thank you. As we wind up, I want just to make these few remarks concerning the other side of the road. Let us look at the people that the man is associating with. Let's go to let me start from the Nyanza region. Kisii, we have Omingo Magara, want to be the governor of Kisii. Somebody who lost the ground long time ago with PDP. I don't know how he is going to to maneuver the people to let the man in. Let's come to Kisumu, Owalo, somebody who is not known. Now he wants to be the MP for Kibera. I don't even know. And we also have Mariga, the same part. I don't know what is going to happen. Let's come to Migori. There is another man that entered recently called Kopio. Kopio is somebody who got lost long time ago. And again, we have somebody like Obado who's just going home. He may have a say, maybe the governor side, but not the top seat. Higher. Let's go to the other side, like Western. We have somebody like Alwali, the bullfighter. Things that everywhere is just to bring bullfighting. Has no say in Kakamega. Let's look at. Let me just leave alone the other MPs like Dima Baraza who are just singing their songs. Shirley. Let's come to Mombasa. This is the coastal Spa region. Mombasa, we have somebody like Omar Hassan. Lost the ground when he left the Senate seat. Let's come to Kwale. Kwale, he has somebody like Moshetani and the other guy from Msambweni. Today I watched a clip of I watched a clip about the Kwale people saying that the leaders were being bought, but when they have eaten, they had to go home. So they are back to where they normally be. Let's go to Kilifi. Kilifi is bragging with this woman who is just singing, swinging the waist wherever she goes. But it's going to be tough with them. It's going to be tough. It is not easy for the man. Look at the people that the man is associating with. People are just, they have just brought this propaganda in that any slight mistake or a joking, something that has been put like something to be people. Maybe I was joking with somebody like Bernard, then they pick it from there. It becomes an agenda instead of telling us what they're going to do tomorrow to make our lives to be in a better position. They're just looking at things to attack from here and there, wherever they go, attacking. That one will never end, and they're looking for sympathy votes. You look at somebody can just decide himself to be rained on. What for? What does that one show you? Somebody's climbing a donkey. What kind of person is this? Surely. People need to stand up. People need to stand up, and if you are good Kenyans that are seeing the future, ensure that your voting will help you plus your generation, your future generation. As we'll also end by saying that let us also tell other people to register as voters so that they exercise their democratic right. Otherwise, bye as you enjoy your sleep.
Okay, thank you, Shavan. I believe that is good counsel to all of us as Kenyans. Tony, you're going to have the last word. And we are happy that you're here. You said you are an aspirant.
Yeah, thank you, Bernard. Yeah, we have not connected for the last 2 or 3 days, I guess. So let me say hi to everyone in here. And
Dadi umekuja na kwaya.
Yeah, that is the other side of the responsibilities. Anyway, yes, I am one of the aspirants, and we are doing this very well. Yes, and I hope come August 9th, we will be talking a different language, but on the same level anyway. Yeah, it's interesting today that Waiguru has joined the UDA officially, but of course she has been there, but it has been dormant. She only actualized what has been said in undertone, but that's not a surprise to anyone, because actually she belongs there, since she's trying to do hip and hop to see if she can recapture the seat she's holding right now, which is really on the grab. Let me comment something about the deputizing the presidency in both sides of Baba and my good friend, the deputy president. I think it's too early to say that Anne Waiguru can deputize the deputy president, because there are people who have other aspirants or hopefuls who have been in this party since the inception. Yeah, mention people like Alice Waome, and either Katie or Guru to just be on gender sensitive. And you tell me on how they're gonna agree somebody who was criticizing them or their side yesterday, she's going to be the best bet for the bat ticket. You have not heard them speak, and you have not heard some people speak, especially like the good parking dogs from the Rift Valley, Akina Mulkumen and Kinasudi. You need to hear from them and hear exactly what they say. I think there could be something boiling behind the scenes that has not come up, and it will come up in due time. She will be fought in and out, and she will not be the best candidate for the deputy president from Central Province, since she has this baggage of being married out of the Rio Kirinyaga, although she's still within the Gema community. She has that baggage, and that baggage is not going to leave her soon, because she's regarded as a foreigner in Kirinyaga right now. So you tell me on how she is going to sell the ticket, the DB within Kirinyaga, and then she goes where she's married, she sells him over there, because because this is politics. Now, yeah, let me come back to to Baba side. I think Baba side, he has choices of choosing the debut from the Central Province, but they also realize that Central Province is tricky with Peter Kennedy and also the Laikipia governor and also the Nakuru governor, who was colonized as a Luo elder a few days ago, who used to be on the other side anyway. So all these trio, they also have a factor in the Central Province politics, especially as Baba ticket goes. Now, let's look at the overall how the whole nation can view the ticket as such. You know, Central Province is not the only region that is salvating for the DP position. Other regions do too. So how the navigation is going to be, because the others may feel sidelined, and also there are also these you see the OCA principles. You know, they may also need to be promised or to be given, to be put on the table on what they will get. Although there's a high likelihood that they will wait to till the elections and then they go 50+1. So anyway, let me finish because everybody is tired, and let me say that this is a matrix that has to be decided in due time, but it's too early to name anybody as the possible debut. And well, let me say that with the anyway group coming to the UDA is of no consequence as to by now, but we will know about it in due time. She's yet to face the reality within UDA, because UDA is like a boiling egg that is gonna break during nominations. Na tuko tayari, tutaangalia hiyo. Otherwise kila mtu ashike kura, na those of mine coming from Kitutu Masawa, yeah, I shall be seeing you on the ground in a few days to come, and let's watch this space. The God willing, we want to deliver to our people and honestly deliver. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tony. We appreciate your contribution. Inawezekana?
Yes, Niaje Bernard. How are you, Bernard? And the whole team.
Very happy to see you.
Asante sana. I'm also happy to see you guys.
Lakini umekuja kuchelewa leo, kwa hivyo
yes.
Naomba utoe maoni yako moja kwa moja kisha tufungaje. But there are two clips I want to play. One clip is closing clip. Then there is a clip of something we'll be thinking over. I think we'll discuss it in the next show. Inawezekana, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm always short and precise. I've been following you guys, nikisikiza what you guys have to say, and yeah, about deputies. I think it's too early to like conclude if Raila Odinga, Honorable Raila Odinga, will pick Lee Kinyanjui as his deputy, but it appears as if Lee Kinyanjui is the strongest candidate from the mountain to be his candidate, his deputy. But ukiangalia watu kama anaitwaje huyu Peter Kenneth feels like a good candidate. Also from Meru, looking at this other guy walikuwa wanampigia debe sana. I have forgotten his name, but this guy from Meru also is a very strong candidate. So it's too early. Baba has a variety of candidates to choose from, and for me, I would suggest achague Martha Karua. That's my personal choice. I would really love to see our first deputy president akiwa mwanamke. That one would be a very big plus. From the deputy side, Waiguru's joining UDA, that one I don't think it brings a big impact. It does not make any difference. She had shown indications earlier, like some few weeks ago, that she would join UDA. So hiyo haijakuwa shock to us from Baba's side. I think Kirinyaga is not Baba's. Baba will not get a good chunk of votes from Kirinyaga. So akina Ngirishi and those other people washughulike tu huko, wapigane huko venye watapigana, but I don't think that one does not concern us. Anyway, I will just say that it's too early kuchagua deputy, and I think Baba will make a good decision ya kuchagua deputy, and we will rally behind him. That's the only thing I would like to say today. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to comment something on Waiguru, I think it is clear that she waited for the Mashujaa since she was the host for the Mashujaa. That was what was withholding her from going to the Karen Hustler's mansion. So after the Mashujaa Day celebration, she got the green light to go and shift. And so she did, and we wish her the best. But she has an uphill task to do. I want us to listen to these two videos just as reminders, just for us to think soberly. Let's get this.
Who you are, it reveals who you are. And the same thing is true of a presidential campaign. So if a candidate is erratic and threatening, if a candidate traffics in prejudice, fears, and lies on the trail, if a candidate has no clear plans to implement their goals, if they disrespect their fellow citizens, including folks who've made extraordinary sacrifices for our country, let me tell you, that is who they are. That is the kind of president they will be. Trust me, a candidate is not going to suddenly change once they get in office. Just the opposite, in fact, because the minute that individual takes that oath, they are under the hottest, harshest light there is. And there is no way to hide who they really are. And at that point, it's too late. They're the leader of the world's largest economy, the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military force on earth. With every word they utter, they can start wars, crash markets, change the course of this planet. So when it comes to the qualifications we should demand in a president, to start with, we need someone who is going to take this job seriously. Someone who will study and prepare so that they understand the issues better than anyone else on their team. And we need someone not with good judgment, but with superb judgment in their own right. We also need someone who is steady and measured. Because when you're making life or death, war or peace decisions, a president can't just pop off. Being president isn't anything like reality TV. It's not about sending insulting tweets or making fiery speeches. It's about whether or not the candidate can handle the awesome responsibility of leading this country.
That provides us fodder for thought and criteria to judge who we vote for, because at every end of a vote, there are consequences. Are we willing to live with the consequences of who we are voting for, or we are in for 6 months of celebration and then open door for suffering? And this leads me into the next clip, which I want us to listen to. This is not targeting anyone. It's just I want us to discuss. In the next show, we'll be looking at politics and violence, okay? Because our politics have been wrapped up with violence, not of heckling, but the drums for war that are being drummed up. I would that we all go and research and re-research so that when we come in the next show, we'll have something to say on this.
Kali siku hiyo serikali itakuwa imekwisha na tutakanyaga hii serikali turarue mpaka chini.
Anataka nikueleze huyo ngeno mnashika ile matatizo mnatafuta mtaipata.
Wale watu wanaendelea kupiga vita ya naibu wa rais. We are profiling you. We are marking you and we are profiling you. Ikifika wakati tutawashughulikia. Na wakitaka hii Kenya tutakanyagana mpaka wajue hawajui.
Ili mjue sisi sio wale ambao wanarushanga mawe na kungojea tear gas. You know us very well. Tukianza tutasimamisha nchi.
So that's what I want you to go and think about. In the next show, we'll be diving into that so that we come to a clear cut. Are we going to vote out of fear, or are we going to vote out of clear cut, drawn out outcome of the future we want for this country, not for us only, but for our children and our children's children. Now, before I close completely, David has just come in. David, how are you? David, upo ama hujafika?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Okay, we were closing. Just
Nico, unasikia kweli?
Make your remarks. We are closing.
I didn't have much to say because I've just got in the show. I was just out of work and I realized you guys were still there. All I can say, keep the fire burning, get one more guys to make informed decisions, be objective in our discussions, and at the end of it all, and we all of us succeed. If it doesn't, suffer. So yeah, I don't have much to say because I've just got in the show.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are ending there. Patriot, anything to have left out so that we close? Patriot seems to be rolling with his phone. Are you the one rolling on the phone? I don't really want it. Okay, it's stuck. I want to appreciate all of you for making time to join us on this great show and make your contribution. We really value your input.
I want to appreciate all of you for making time to join us on this show and
sorry. We really value your input and your contribution. We thank God for you, and we look forward for us to keep engaging so that we really shape the future of this country rightly. On that note, before we pray, we want to acknowledge a few of our viewers who have been on the comment side. Emmanuel Kipkoech, thank you so much. Variety Gitash, we salute you. Harry Adams, thank you so much for keeping it here. Odikor King, thank you so much. Rafael Musioka, we appreciate you. Who else here? Kelab Nyamburi, thank you so much for keeping at Mtembei TV. Nelly, Rian, we value and appreciate your input. Caris Official, thank you. Peter Kilu, Asante sana. Dennis Ondiek, asante kabisa kwa kuendelea kuwa mwaminifu kwa kufuatilia vipindi vyetu. We have this who else? Priscilla Kerosi. Kerosi, thank you so much. And many others. Please, we really appreciate all of you. We may not get time to acknowledge and give a shout out to everyone, but we urge you to continue engaging. Share this link with everybody. Let all the people tune into Mtembei TV and get what has gone on before they were here, so that we all on the same page as we build a better Kenya under God, by the constitution rule, for the posterity of our children and our children's children. Thank you very much. And let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to be on this platform and make our little contribution to the great picture that you have for this great nation. We continually lift the nation of Kenya onto you and ask you to uphold it with the right hand of your righteousness. You are the God who is absolutely, completely unlimited. And we pray that in your unlimited power and in your infinite wisdom, govern this nation the right direction. Deliver us from wrong leadership and establish us in the hands and in the care of your own chosen leader that will usher us into the dispensation you have ordained at this point in time. We pray for each and every family in this country, each and every individual in this country. We pray for every segment at all levels of leadership, that only by you, O God, can we be saved. Only by you, O God, can we be preserved. We urge you to keep this nation. We urge you to preserve this nation. We urge you to guide and lead each and every individual that will come up with a decision for the next leadership of this nation that will be pleasing to you and profitable to this country. We give you thanks and bless you. Take all the glory and the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, thank you, guys. Let us do this again later on in the day. It is a few minutes after 3:30. We'll be back around 8 p.m. East African time to dissect into that subject, politics and violence. What do we do? How do we prevent that? And how do we secure the future? God bless you.